All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Chills here. Welcome back to Fate Grand Order. Last time we finished Olympus, but before we get into what we're here to do today, as you can see, I wouldn't say made a mistake, so to speak. You know, is it a mistake if it works out for you? You didn't stop? That's the funny thing. I had one summon ticket left after I got these three. So, you know, the two summon, two 10 pulls and 6 summon tickets I did to get these three. I had one summon ticket left, and I was like, you know what? Sure, I'll throw it on the banner. And Melusine decided to come say what up with that one summon ticket. So, yeah, that worked out. You know, luckily enough. Congrats on a full set of Summer LB6. Yeah. Honestly, okay, it could have been worse. Could have gone worse. But yeah, no, I still. I said it in the recording when I got her, but I feel like I traded my future luck for like Space Ereshkigal and CL for Melu. So we'll see how that goes. How much SQ left? I didn't spend any SQ for Melu. I literally I got off the last summon ticket I had. So, you know, lucky me. Also, let me turn up the audio. I just realized I still had it set to low when I was... There we go. Nothing. Ooh, yeah. Should I say my bad? But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, yeah, we finished out Olympus. Where Musashi is like dead. Like her spirit origin can't be summoned anymore. Canonically, you know, obviously gameplay-wise she's still there, but canonically, like story-wise, she'll never appear again. Unless they do, you know, something in part 3. Which, who knows, they might. You never know. But probably not. Probably not. And then Kristaria turned out to not be such a bad guy. But Beryl was like, your plan sounds dumb, so I'm gonna kill ya. And apparently Beryl wasn't as, didn't betray the LB6 crew as much as he made it seem. Because apparently, according to when he was talking with Kira, he apparently had sworn his loyalty to the king of LB6. So he's a little shit. But anyway, yeah, so we're gonna be, canonically speaking, going back in time a little bit to in between LB4 and 5. To when, I believe this takes place during when we were about to test the new Nautilus's capabilities, right? I think that's what the setup was at the end of LB4. Something like that. It's just a real life release order. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you know, like canonically for like how, like the chronological order of events, I guess, is we're going back in time a little bit, but yeah, and for some reason Van Gogh is just out in the void sea apparently. Don't know why, but I suppose we'll find out. Probably. Hopefully. Opening act. The submerged voyage deep and far. Let's see, what the hell going on here? Deeper, deeper, further, further. Those are the only thoughts that have occupied my mind up to this point. This is the reverse side of the target world, a completely opaque domain impossible to observe. It is the deepest and most shallow trap to ever exist. It is both the closest afterworld and the furthest. However, it is not my duty either to invade the target world, nor to commence the war for its observation. No, my duty is merely to call for them, and to remain myself. The conditions have all been met. Next, I will shut down my consciousness and transfer all my authority to myself. Goodbye. Wouldn't yourself already have all of your authority? Or, oh, okay. I'm adrift. Who? I've been drifting here forever. It's lonely drifting all alone, so I think I'll call for them. Yes, call out their names. Deeper, deeper, further, further. I will wait at the unknowable sea within the rainbow dream. Right. I don't know if I like that laugh. I feel like that laugh, if anything, should concern me. Senpai. Senpai? Oh, hey, Mesh. You've been standing in the hall staring into space for a few minutes now. Is everything okay? Do you have a stomachache? Is the stress of tomorrow's special mission wreaking havoc on your insides? No. No. No, nothing like that. Don't worry, I'm fine. Sure. Are you sure? Well, that's a relief. Since we enhanced Captain Nemo's spirit origin in India, he can keep his noble phantasm Nautilus the ultimate submarine in reality indefinitely. And a good thing too, since the ship that can cross an ancient sea of gods will be absolutely crucial for the Atlantic Lost Belt mission we'll be undertaking next. Yeah, definitely already haven't done it, However, we do need to put Captain's ship through its paces to make sure it's all ready for the upcoming voyage. There's also a lot of other essential gear and equipment we still have to procure. So since the rest of Caldia's staff will be working on that, Captain, you, me, and a few servants will be taking the Nautilus out for a test run by ourselves. But don't relax just because it's a test run. It's going to be an intense training exercise covering many scenarios, including a void space dive. Yeah, I know. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if you were feeling nervous about it, especially since we'll be conducting the exercises without many of our usual crew on the bridge. I'm always up for a boat trip with you, Mash. W flirt. Right, to tell you the truth, I'm excited about it too. The idea of sailing the void sea is a little nerve-wracking. But if it means getting to be on the crew of Captain Nemo's famous Nautilus, I'm more than happy to do so. Oh, speaking of which, have you heard which servants have been elected to go with us yet? Just that they've narrowed it down to 4. I actually don't know who else is coming. I'm told the final decision was to bring Osaka Bahime, Scotty, and Shang Yu. Shang Yu on a tiny... I mean, it's not really that small, but Shang Yu in a submarine, I feel like that's not a great idea. Am I crazy? I feel like that's not... I mean, it's probably fine. It's probably okay. That's gonna be a hell of a team, yeah. Some of them are relatively new additions, so I admit I'm a little concerned about how well they'll be able to work together. I take it the fact that there's just 3 of them means... yes, that's right. Abby did make it to the final round, but she ultimately decided she wouldn't be a good fit. Tremendous' 2 suggestions this time were basically incomprehensible, though. Basically, don't have 2 foreigners near each other, is what Trismegistus was probably trying to say, is don't. Just don't. So they were difficult to interpret. Still, Da Vinci said the data made it clear that this mission would be just too much for Abby, and she wouldn't be a good fit for the kind of battles we're likely to face. Shion couldn't argue with that, so she agreed to take Abby off the roster. Especially since doing so would also help conserve magical energy. It's too bad. Abby was so disappointed when they told her she couldn't go. That is a shame, but Da Vinci definitely knows what she's talking about. Yeah, well, most of the time. Usually. Generally speaking. Anyway, Shion said she was going to pull an all-nighter so she could search all of Tremendous 2 for entropy. But if you're ready to call it a day, Senpai, you're more than welcome to turn in. Nah, we're good. Why do I feel like someone's staring at me? Stare. Never mind. Mystery solved. Whomst. Oh, sorry, Abigail. Yeah, no, it's too dangerous. I was gonna say man, but girl. It's too dangerous. Having trouble sleeping? Master, I really am a naughty girl. Uh-huh. I understand being taken off the mission since it sounds like it'd be just too much for me. But I still can't help but want to ride that big metal ship with you. I'm sure you'll get a chance eventually. I'll bring you along next time, I promise. Really? Do you mean it? Of course! That's wonderful, but I still won't be able to see you for so long, and I'm really going to miss you. She really is anxious about this, isn't she? Hey, if it ain't Master and Abigail, what are you two doing up this late? Oh, whoops, definitely the wrong voice. Definitely the wrong voice for that. Oh, hey, what are you doing here? Well, you know how Master's setting off in a big old metal whale tomorrow, right? So I thought I'd paint her a treasure ship for good luck. But I sure didn't think I'd find a fellow foreigner looking so blue. Say, how about you paint with me? Me? But I couldn't. I'm just a child and you're a famous... Don't worry about that. Ain't nothing quite like a picture painted by a kiddo. Watch her turn out like a masterpiece. Besides, the collaborations can be a blast too. Now go get your pastels and let's make some art. Oh, that does sound like fun. Are you sure? Can I master? Why would we say no? Letting a child draw is like... Again, why would we say no? What? A treasure ship, huh? This would let me make a wonderful good luck charm for you, Master. Hey, Master. Sorry to ask you this right before your big practice voyage, but do you think you could stay up with us for a while? I mean, no, you right, but... I don't know when canonically she became... No, she was summonable... like a week into Salem releasing, right? Probably. So, like, canonically speaking, she should have been around with us for a while. So you'd think she would have broken out of that, like, mindset, but I don't know. Fine with me. Honestly, you're doing me a big favor here.
Well, that's a load off of my shoulders, hearing you say that. But hey, it's no biggie. Me and Toto-sama are just big old kids at heart anyway. Besides, this foreigner class
We are is on a whole another level, right? I mean, we're supposed to be a threat to all humanity, right? I mean, yeah, you do have outer... yeah.
So if one of us foreigners is in a bind,
The best thing we can do is help each other out.
Anyway, now that that's settled, let's get going. Oh, and if you get bored, you can always take a gander at the picture scrolls I painted myself.
At the ones you made? Alright. I'm down. Why are we running? Oh, we were late. Okay. we were late to the mission. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Morning, Mitsuka. Looks like you're right on time.
Well, technically you were late by 0.008 seconds, but I'll be nice and let that slide. Thanks, I guess.
Now go on, get on board.
Coming awfully close, aren't we, Mitsuka? Did you even make time for breakfast this morning? Really now, any master with those sort would have arrived at least 10 minutes ahead of schedule.
Well, we kind of were up late, making sure Abby felt fine about not being included. So...
Seems that means you've got a ways to go before you can call yourself a fully fledged master. Remember, you should be graceful and diligent in all matters.
Right. Despite Faye sometimes playing fast, that the rule still exists that servants generally don't grow, and that means mental development too. Yeah, I guess. I'm so used to like that not being the case a lot of the time that easy to forget that.
That's all well and good, Gordolf. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe I saw you at the dock over an hour before departure. Nearly arriving late may be bad, but is it not also a problem to be too early?
Gah, you saw me here, Shion. I mean, I was just taking a walk, that's all. Yes, that's it, a little, constitutional. It, certainly had nothing to do with any concern I have regarding the successful completion of the Nautilus's test run. Nope.
Right.
Anyway, listen well, Mitsuka. The success of this test run will be the clearest indicator of whether we are actually able to infiltrate the Atlantic Lost Belt. It is therefore imperative that you not let yourself be distracted by thoughts like, oh boy, this new Nautilus is so much fun to ride, or man, submarines are so cool.
I don't think you gotta worry about that.
That should maintain your focus at all times to ensure the mission's success. You certainly haven't made it this far, but neglecting your responsibilities is correct. And you must continue in that responsible vein, which includes being punctual until you've made it back safely. That's all.
Sir, yes, sir. Gordy, you worry too much. But I guess that worry has helped keep us alive, so you know, we'll let it slide.
Thank you for that masterful display of leadership, Gordolf. I especially appreciate your knack for brevity. If you had gone on any longer, I would have had to remind you that further remarks, inspiring though they may be, would only end up delaying the operation's commencement. But it seems I needn't worry about that today.
Haven't I already told you I've had enough of you mean-spirited interjections? I may be a devout oligarch, but I'm also a staunch pacifist.
Yeah, sure.
The fact that you're all exchanging such witty banter this early in the morning just goes to show what seasoned veterans you Chaldeans truly are. If you're able to just be so jocular under these circumstances, then it seems clear you do not need any advice from me. Yeah, we haven't known each other all that long, but we've still managed to overcome all sorts of hardships together. I see. So you've shared good times and bad times alike? I suppose that's what comes from being stuck in the same boat, pun intended. But of course, that's also exactly why this training exercise is necessary. After all, as newcomers, neither Captain nor myself are at a point where we can joke with all of you as you are able to with one another. This trial runs an important mission to test the Nautilus's performance and limitations. But its secondary purpose is for Ritsuka and Captain to get to know and trust each other better. It's my hope that they'll end up with just as strong a relationship as all of you, if not more so.
Humph. Well, if nothing else, I can tell there's at least one idiot among our crew who already trusts Captain more than the rest of us.
Yay?
At any rate, Captain may be reticent, cold, and more likely to oil his gun than join in the conversation. But given that he and Ritsuka will be working together to test the Nautilus's top speed and cornering capabilities, they simply won't be able to avoid becoming better friends. Trust me, I went through the same thing with my navigator back in the Safari Rally. He did end up cancelling on me at the last minute, though. I never did find out why.
Maybe he didn't get as used to you as you did him?
Well, it seems to me like Ritsuka's already pretty fond of Captain, so I'm sure this training exercise will go great. Oh? Then you don't find him off-putting, Ritsuka?
I guess you really are a seasoned veteran master.
Yeah, I must say I'm a little jealous.
Let's not forget, Captain's still my servant.
Oh, I'm surprised to hear you of all people admit to jealousy, Miss Shion. I do hope the all-nighter you pulled wasn't too arduous. Oh no, I don't mind working all night.
I'm just a little concerned about the choice of servant companions. Yeah, I'm still not sure why we're putting Shang Yu on a submerged metal coffin. Or in a submerged metal coffin. I don't know how I feel about that, but
I simply cannot figure out why Trementus 2 decided they were the best fit for this mission.
me neither.
Just to be sure, are you quite certain we can trust this machine's analysis?
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I don't have to understand the equation to have faith in the results.
Maybe you should, but okay.
Besides, if we were to have Trementus 2 write up its reasoning in a report, it would take us over half a year simply to decipher it. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. So no, my concerns are not about Trementus 2, but about the environment in which such servants will be necessary. For example, what sort of environment would lead to Abigail Williams being a recommended addition to the crew? Was removing her from the roster ultimately the correct choice? Those are the sorts of things I'm worried about. I see your point. But since we can only afford to have 3 servants come along, including her really wasn't an option. Anyway, we should probably start getting ready for the next operation. It'll be a little while until we're done, so spend this time as you see fit.
I already forgot. It was Scotty, Shang Yu, and who was the other one? I already forgot who it was. Who's the third one? Scotty, Shang Yu. Oh, Sukabime, yeah, okay.
Alright, I think I said everything I want to say for now. You're lucky we only have so much time until launch.
That might be the harshest scolding I've ever had in my life.
I understand that as a master,
Caring for the younger servants is an important part of your duties.
but it's no excuse for tardiness. In the mission we're about to undertake, punctuality is of the utmost importance. There's no way to save a sailor who missed the boat after all. So while you're on my ship, make damn sure you're on time for everything from now on. Is that clear?
Aye aye, oh captain, my captain.
My captain? Never mind. Just get to your post, acting commander.
It's still about an hour early for you to call me that.
Nah. Consider it a little payback. Okay, Mash, stop.
Clinging to Ritsuka like a remora and get to your post. I'm sorry, Captain. I was just reflecting on my failure to ensure Master got enough rest last night.
It won't happen again. How about the other passengers? Are you all ready to set sail? I am. As I have no authority over the sea, I'm happy to follow this
Child sea god's instructions.
Indeed, I am looking forward to being treated as just another passenger. No, I'm not ready. But if Machan wants me here, then I'm gonna do my
Princessy best to be my usual eco self, even in a submarine. Yeah, you do that. Huh? Are you nervous, Xingyu?
No, I'm still operating within standard parameters.
It's interesting how the summon Xingyu is... Oh wait, no, wasn't it? It's actually proper human history Xingyu, but he was summoned with the like combat body of Lost Belt Xingyu, but like mind-wise, it's still, or is it completely Lost Belt Xingyu? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure you guys mentioned before what it was. Like I don't recall.
I'm still operating within standard parameters. I was simply thinking about my beloved, and how she thrashed about on the floor
in a tantrum whenever fervent requests to accompany me on this mission were denied. You, or I guess I shouldn't say Yume Ren or Akuta. It's hard to imagine her thrashing on the floor, but you know, that's fine. I'm pretty sure mentally he's the proper human history one. Yeah. Why the throne decided to give him his lost belt body with the horse, you know, lower half and extra arms, who knows? Doesn't matter too much. Always Xingyu computed his PHS, so some extra PHS Xingyu computed his LB life to make the distinctions pointless. Yeah, true, maybe. That was definitely a thing that happened, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't think he would lie about that, or joke.
Rest assured that I am perfectly able to carry out my primary directive. Master, Captain, I suggest we embark on our voyage without delay.
Excellent. Let's get going. This is the assault submarine Nautilus. Shion, report your final assessment of the shell's pressure resistance. This is Shion at Novum Chaldea. The hull is in perfect shape, of course. So how are you feeling now, Captain? Would you say that my promise to provide a ship worthy of you has been fulfilled? Yeah, it has. Thank you, Shion of Novum Chaldea. I have not a single complaint about the ship. Got the same amount of tension as a right whale's whiskers.
Perfectly balanced.
And so I believe we're ready to set sail. That is all.
Also, Qin Shi Huang told you may rent to join the throne up to impart impression of changing to history and face summoning, meaning she liked the horse. Okay. She a bit freaky.
Ooh, it's good to see you in high spirits, Captain.
I'm also very glad that I was finally able to keep my promise.
Alright then, I wish you an excellent maiden voyage. Don't worry about anything here while you're gone. I have your room locked up tight as a clam. Wait, I'm counting on you to take care of Captain for me while you're out in void space.
We'll be unable to provide support this time.
We'll be rooting for you to have an experience that's truly out of this world.
I'll do my best. No promises, though.
Open the vents. Commence standard dive.
Down we go. Oh boy, already getting into combat. But of course, we're forced to use the servants to come along with us. Because of course we are. I'm sure that'll change by like section 2, but it usually does. Oh, not a single Shang Yu card off the rip, huh? Cool. Okay, let's just defense buff ya. Yeah, it's that was not great. Not a single Shang Yu, and it was not a single Buster card either. Like, awesome. Sick. Nice crit. Okay, no crit. Ow. Okay, I should probably. Actually, I want to wait to pop his evade till the next. Ooh, yeah. Hopefully. Okay, good. I was a little concerned for a moment there. Alright. Move your defense. Pop that for Shang Yu. Alright, mountainous strength, conquering might. I should probably just straight up kill it, I would think. Also, Zero set up for this fight, so I assume there's gonna be post-battle dialogue. Like, what the hell? What the heck was that? Also, just, why are we in Seraph as well? Is the Void Sea combat areas just Seraph background? I could see that. I suppose. That's one quick focused party.
Damn, no wonder Shang Yu used to be the hegemon king of the Western Shu. And with me and the goddess backing up his OPNP, I don't think anyone can touch him. What the hell is that cheeky ass look? Between the goddess buffing him with her powerful rune magecraft and me filling in the gaps, I'd say we've got a killer team comp. I'm not so sure. Such a diverse makeup can easily lead to one becoming the proverbial jack of all trades and master of none. Is there anything you can do to improve your noble phantasm's turnover rate, Osakabe? As a berserker, Shang Yu requires precision support to keep fighting at his peak, so I expect you'll need to vary your approach in battle until you find what works.
Ouch! Direct and accurate constructive criticism. Okay, I'll do my god best.
So, Lord Shang Yu, how did you like my...
We didn't see it, but sure.
If you like, I'd be more than happy to let you and
your beloved tour Himeji Castle sometime. I don't know if you have the authority to do that in modern day. Like, imagine she just rolls up with Shang Yu and Yume Ren behind her and like, I'm Osaka Behime, okay? I have the authority here, and they just look at her like, are you crazy? What the fuck? She died like hundreds of years ago. Get out of here. Leave. What are you doing here? Crazy lady. And we have reached the end of our training exercise. I would like to request a 10-minute break. Guess what, Mr. NP? Will she be able to, like, maintain it long enough for them to tour it, though? I mean, maybe. I mean, we saw, fucking what's-his-face and Gouda Gouda maintain his castle, I guess. So I guess it's not impossible that she would, but he can only do that because he was literally on his land. So I don't know if she would have the ability to maintain hers for more than a few minutes or not, but I don't know.
Perhaps he did not care for your calling him Hegemon King of Sagabe. Also, your castle's defenses and use Noble Phantasm are a poor match. Really, they don't fit together at all.
No, I plan to ingratiate myself with him. I don't think you did anything wrong, Batty. There's something off about Shang-Yu today.
Do you think so? Truth be told, I still have trouble making sense of the expressions of metal men.
Honestly, understandable. Well, if you say so much, you're probably right.
Well, Shang-Yu is clearly cut above most berserkers. I nonetheless cannot tell what he truly thinks, as I never encountered his like in Scandinavia. I will therefore be relying on your judgment even more than usual, Ritsuka. Anyway, I guess we might as well take a break too. Plus, when we're done, it'll be the perfect time for an incident.
Oh. Foreshadowing, okay. Good point. Thanks for the warning.
Great job, Master.
I saw the whole simulation from here in the cockpit, and everyone's teamwork was impeccable. Now we just relax and wait.
Right, this next phase will require even more caution than usual. We're going to simulate encountering
an unexpected hostile marine force during a shallow water dive and practice making an emergency dive to void space to evade it.
What's more, we'll be doing so entirely on our own.
At this point, everyone back at the Wandering Sea Chaldea base is still able to observe us, but once we make the dive into void space,
we'll be completely cut off from them.
It's a little nerve-wracking, but I know we'll do our best to handle anything that comes our way. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine. On that note, I think I'll go over the navigation manual again, just to be sure.
Please go ahead and relax, Senpai.
I'll try. You know, I think I'll take a breather while I can. I think this isn't gonna go as smoothly as we're hoping. Bustling around. Shang-Yu's fiddling with some instruments. Shang-Yu. What you doing? And now he's gone. That's weird. Bustling around. Nope, never mind. Now he's bringing in a big wooden crate. And he just left it there. Oh my god. He didn't. Shang-Yu, what's in the crate? Shang-Yu. Now he's got an inkstone and a brush. Okay, maybe he was just using the crate as a table. I thought for a second he somehow smuggled Akuta in that crate onto the submarine. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I think he's just using it as a table though. And he's scribbling something on the wall. Wait, hold on, what's going on here?
Master, I recommend you do not interfere. As you can see, even 4 hands are not enough to handle everything that must be done.
I'm not gonna stop you, but I do have to ask what you're doing.
Unfortunately, I have neither the time nor the processing power to explain at the moment.
That sounds ominous, but alright. I'm sure you know what you're doing. Probably.
Thank you, Master. Now if you'll excuse me.
That's not suspicious at all. And just like that, he's gone. I wonder what those scribbles or symbols he wrote on the wall mean. Well, knowing Shang-Yu, I'm sure it has something to do with his prognosticative abilities. Probably. These actions may seem bizarre now, but in time we'll find out there were good reasons for them. Right? Yeah, it doesn't make it any less baffling, though.
What's wrong with that berserker? The moment I take my eyes off him, he's scurrying around like some kind of
Oversized spider crab and messing up my ship. If we weren't about to undertake an operation, I'd have him swabbing the deck all day. I know you're mad, but please let him do what he thinks is best.
Ahem. I'm sorry, I'm usually much better at keeping my cool than that. Don't worry, I always make sure I know who my passengers are before they board. I understand that Shang Yu is actually much more intelligent than he looks. I do, but having a berserker walking about doing whatever he pleases in my
Delicate ship still really gets on my nerves.
I mean that in the literal sense, since this Nautilus actually is a part of me.
Just keep that in mind if you would. I will, don't worry. Oh, isn't it about time?
So it is. Then let's get this emergency underway. Training alert, training alert. Silence on the line. Hostile marine forces detected at 090. All sensors detected A-class combat threat. Commencing emergency zero sail, evasive maneuver. I repeat, commencing emergency zero sail evasive maneuver. We expect to emerge from void space in 12 hours. Do you read me, Novum Caldia? This is Shion at Novum Caldia reading you loud and clear. Good luck, Nautilus. And transmission. Nautilus personnel, get to your emergency stations to prepare for zero sail. All compartments, brace for turbulence. You got it, boss. Expanding Nautilus pressure hull shock wave resistance theory. Well, moving existence verification for reality space. Time to go, floating together.
It's so weird not having Da Vinci make those announcements. Yeah, I wonder who's the one doing it. Probably engineer? Marine? Maybe? Marine engineer?
Here we go, Nautilus. Go ahead. Void space dive, zero sail unfurl.
And there we go. And then everything went wrong.
Looks like the zero sail went off without a hitch. I'm especially glad to see Nemo's in good shape. Me too. The fact you're not there to provide the upward compatible computational services you usually do has made him about 30% more fired up than usual. That's Captain for you. He has his own ways of handling responsibility. How about you? Think you'll be joining the next sporting exercise?
Nah, I have my hands full taking care of Termitus too. Fair.
That said, once this is all over, I would love to go on a little boating trip.
But I would want to go before the bleached earth phenomenon is resolved, since I would truly be going where no human's gone before. Fair.
Ooh, an adventure with none other than Captain Nemo himself. Sounds truly delightful.
Would you perchance have need of a great detective among your crew, Miss Shion? The heroine! XX!
Don't you dare! This is a matter solely between master and servant. Our only place is to send them off with a smile.
Where does Fauna come from, and what does she look like?
Just like the one I saw during the strangest Hawaii vacation of my life.
Me? I cancelled a side gig. Ahem.
I mean, personal matter to answer Master's summons. But since now it looks like I won't be needed at all, I plan to drown my sorrows by spending this vacation diving into the sea under the dock. I guess she was on the short list to join the crew, but ended up not making it.
Huh? Why aren't you resident geniuses say anything? Don't tell me I'm the one who has to point out the ridiculousness of the so-called plan.
Oh well, Miss XX there is something of a special case. Let's see, how can I put this? It's like she's her own contextual singularity? Impossible to analyze with anything approaching seriousness? Even attempting to do so just instantly devolves into a farce? Okay.
Agreed on all counts, Commander. Plus, as a foreigner,
things like logic and reason have little hold on her.
I see. Now I understand.
Reed, no longer care.
Oh, but just to be clear,
Captain's not subservient to me.
He and I are equals. Oh, really? Guess I thought I heard you say you were jealous of Ritsuka for getting along with him so well.
Only in the sense that I wish Captain and I could have a traditional master-to-servant relationship.
To be honest, I didn't summon him to form a contract with him so much as to let the phantom spirit of Nemo materialize. So if Captain's decided that the Chaldeans are worth entrusting with the fate of humanity, then I'm not at all surprised that he's also decided to switch teams, so to speak. All that aside, what is it you're doing here anyway? You do know there's no space-time distorting singularity active here, do you not? Ha ha ha! Come on, Shion, it's no fair. You make it sound like I never show up unless there's a singularity to be solved. Well? No, I'm just here for the same reason I always am. Because I sense it'd be my turn soon.
Concerning?
Hey, Shion.
Just to make absolutely sure, you are certain there's nothing off about this mission, right?
Yeah, of course. Well. Please don't concerned about Da Vinci. All the conditions for this test run were perfect. Everything from the passenger status verification to the cargo transport went off without a hitch. The Nautilus is in excellent condition, and Ritsuko's crew is sailing the Void Sea, a place so dreadfully dull that the very concept of an incident taking place there is utterly unthinkable. Yeah, sure. Unthinkable, right? Yeah,
Now that our technology for navigating it is stable, I dare say there's no safer course than off-creation.
In fact, I'll go so far as to say that this training exercise
is completely safe in every regard. You just had to say that, didn't you? You just had to go and say that, huh?
Oh yeah, exactly. I could tell as much just from the dashing figure Ritsuka cut as she headed off on the mission. Trust me, every bone in this space cop's body is telling me this test run's gonna go perfectly.
Uh-huh. That probably just makes Holmes less, confident about it.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off for some solo diving. Be back by dinner.
Yeah, of course you will.
Well, I don't wish to split hairs, especially given how cautious you've all been thus far. Perhaps it wouldn't hurt to try making double extra sure just in case.
I admit, I do feel like a black cat just crossed my path as I shattered a mirror while walking under a ladder, but... Well, I too am loath to say this, I must admit. It would be quite illogical to ignore the quite unintentional warning of a heroic spirit who was inscribed into the throne for her intuition alone. Oops, sorry about that. Tremendousness 2 just finished its analysis. I admit, the timing is... guys? Holmes especially? You may want to sit down for this. Oh, please enlighten us, Miss Shion. What did our beloved Spiritron calculation engine have to say? It would seem this is all a dream. Oh. Huh? Of course. Of course it is. When are we never not dreaming? I thought it was gonna be like, a singularity just appeared in the Void Sea, but no, it's just dream. Which, I mean, I guess that's a more normal place for foreigner servants to show up. I guess. Oh? Are we playing Battleship?
Okay. Act 1. The Unknowable Reef. The Unknowable Reefer. Support only. Nah, there wouldn't be any reefer here. Holmes isn't with us. Looks like the dive was a success.
Of course it was. I'm not about to let Da Vinci outdo me at steering my own ship. Now, as promised, it's time to have some fun. Great, I'll go ahead and switch gears.
Should we be okay. Today at 13:30, the Nautilus encountered a hostile force, proceeded to undertake evasive action in the form of a zero sail, thereby losing contact with Chaldea. Yeah? Therefore, in accordance with the procedure for a Code 4 incident, the Nautilus is now operating independently. During this time of emergency, Master Ritsuko will serve as acting commander. And I, Master Carrylight, will serve as her acting vice commander. In accordance with these regulations, we have assumed command of the Nautilus. Any objections, Nemo?
This is Nemo. As captain of this vessel, I approve of the change in command. You're now officially the commander, Ritsuka. That said, the ship's captain always retains sole authority over the ship's operations. If a captain were to order someone to get off their ship, that person would have to obey, even if they were the admiral of that ship's entire fleet.
Is that how it works?
So, well, I'll certainly respect your orders as much as possible. I'm also going to do everything I can to keep my ship safe. Is that clear? If you issue too many strange or pointless orders, you're going to see me very, very angry.
I'm already scared enough without your help.
Don't worry, as long as you do your job right, I'll play along as obediently as a coral fish. Now, moving on. This is going to sever my link to the Wandering Sea for a while, just like we planned. That means I'm also going to lose my connection to Shion, effectively making me a rogue servant. Now, I should be able to stick around longer than an average servant thanks to my direct link to the ship's magical reactor, but I'll still be at risk of disappearing if I run out of magical energy. So if something happens to me, it'll be your responsibility to get everyone back to the surface. Reality space, that is. So, since we already agreed on this and everything, I guess we should form a temporary contract. Wow, I think I can actually feel the weight of all this responsibility. Well, that was pretty different than it was with Shion.
It almost feels like I've got a fish hook stuck in my gullet. Sorry!
Anyway, this officially makes us master and servant, though only temporarily. Maybe this would be a good time to properly introduce you to all of us. Then again, you met everyone at the launch ceremony, so we can skip that if you like.
Would you like to be introduced to the Nemo series? You know what? We may as well get a refresher. Like, I know we've met all of them already, but yeah, why not?
Got it. Okay, everyone gather around. This will also be a good time to introduce you all to the passengers.
Man, no matter how many times I see them all. It really is a breathtaking number of people, isn't it, Senpai? Even though they're all technically the same person, but yeah.
Well. Uh-huh.
Now I would car understand.
Let me introduce you to everyone again. This here crew is the very lifeblood of the Nautilus. I call them the Nemo series. Let's start with the Nemo Marines. They steer the ship and man the radar. For this voyage, I've got 12 of them in constant rotation.
Hang on, I'm gonna count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 13 here! You liar. Unless the one at the edge, the ones at the edges are the same Nemo. And they're just cut in half because of the way they decided to draw this. Which could be the case. But I'm gonna go with Nemo just lied to us. But no, realistically, it's probably the one on the left and the one on the right is probably the same one. Probably.
Hi everyone, hi master, we're doing our very best.
So please don't be mad if we mess up. Sure. Hi, Nemos.
Next we've got Nemo Nurse. She runs the medical bay and she's an old hand when it comes to treating injuries. Hello, I'm both a nurse and a doctor.
And I sincerely hope I won't be needed at all.
But if I am, rest assured that my medicine skills are all ranked A. So please don't hesitate to come see me should you get hurt.
I definitely don't want to get hurt, but if I do, it's great to know I'll be in good hands.
Next, we usually have Nemo Baker, but she won't be joining us for this mission since the border doesn't have enough space for a full kitchen. But don't worry, Master, to make up for that,
She freeze-dried and vacuum-packed some yummy meals in case you get hungry.
we've also got a nice selection of drinks if you care for one. And if any of you adult servants would care for a cocktail, just let me know and I'll make you one.
Making cocktails sounds like fun. Maybe I'll help you.
Next, we have Nemo Professor,
The most eccentric of the bunch.
Even I don't understand how she can be so laid back all the time. But I've given her as much of my brain power as I can afford to allocate. She'll have numerous important roles to fulfill during this exercise, including research and strategy development. Yes, hello. I'm Nemo Professor. The one who's so laid back as to apparently not merit a particularly enthusiastic introduction. You actually already heard me on the PA system earlier, so feel free to say hi if you see me around. I don't mind a little elbow rubbing either.
Okay, so it was you and not engineer.
I'm manning the computer room on this mission, but I'm not as good at steering the ship as Da Vinci, so don't expect me to pull off any crazy maneuvers or anything.
We'll keep our expectations light. Those glasses look really good on you.
Yeah.
Just creepy smile.
And finally we've got Nemo Engineer. She's in charge of the engine room, which is almost literally the beating heart of the ship.
Interesting.
She has as many responsibilities on the ship as I do, so you can think of her as a shadow captain of sorts. Be careful about giving any orders that'll strain the ship. That'll make Engineer angry, and you wouldn't like her when she's angry. The hell are you talking about, cat bastard? Here, I'll make it real simple.
Overloading my ship is evil.
Let me give you a word of warning too, Temporary Master. The only way you and your pals are gonna get to enjoy your fancy schmancy boat trips is if the engine is running smooth as butter. Also, it gets crazy hot in the engine room, so don't forget to send down water or some ice cream that won't melt too quickly on the regular. Yeah. Remember, you piss me off and the Nautilus is done for.
You're so cool. Oh.
I see. Well, yeah, I guess I am pretty cool. Well, me and engineers in general. Shh, you're kind of a weirdo, aren't you, Temporary Master? Yeah, maybe. True. Mitsuka's appetite for adventure is a little bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, we've been through so much at this point. We're kind of an old hand at it.
Anyway, between the 12 Marines, engineer, professor, nurse, and me, we have 16 crew members altogether. And that's the Nemo series lineup who'll be manning the ship for our training exercise today. They're the heart, brains, and blood of the Nautilus, keeping it running smoothly at all hours of the day. The better you can get along with them, the more homey the ship will be.
Can't wait to get to know y'all better.
Okay, dismissed. All hands, return to your stations. Hey, Captain. Those sailors aren't familiars or anything like that, right? Given how you just talked about them, I'm guessing they're clones. Did you partition your mind and give one partition to each individual personality or something? I can't go into the details too much as I'm using Shion's patented technique, but you're essentially correct. Technically speaking, they're all still me. I just divided the work involved in running the ship among them to avoid confusion and ensure there'd always be enough hands to go around. Of course, they all have their own distinct personalities, so since that's the bare minimum required for them to act autonomously. Well, except for the Marines, they all have basically the same personality. You can think of them as one person sharing 12 bodies.
Okay.
I also gave each of the series their own private memory space, so we really are equals in the true sense of the word. The only hierarchy we adhere to is the one required for any chain of command to function. Wowee! I know you're not making a big deal about it, but man, the Atlas Institute really is sugoi!
Hey, Arnold. I tried something similar with my origami once, but I broke my brain pretty much right away.
Anyway, now that the formalities are out of the way, it's time to get to work. Your first job as acting commander will be to see each part of the Nautilus in action for yourself. After that, I've put together a training program for you that will brief you on the process of emerging into reality space. Finally, you'll practice undersea warfare in the simulator, and I'll be joining you for that part. I know it's a lot to get through, but once you do, there'll be a delicious dinner awaiting you.
I'm looking forward to our first training session together.
Just what I like to hear. Alright, no time like the present to... Report, what's going on? You rang? Huh? That's an alarm going off. Sorry about that. I was just taking a break since we can't use
Sonar in void space, so it wasn't me.
Maybe the professor did it? Professor? Nope, it wasn't me either. I'm guessing it might have been the bridge. Maybe you should check the admin console there. That's weird.
The sonar we use in reality space is...
active. Hold up, did you just say sonar? As an echolocation? I'm a resident bat expert, so doesn't that mean... Yep, and this alarm is telling us we're about to run aground.
Run aground in void space. Yeah, I knew it. Come on, Captain, what are you waiting for? Don't we gotta be all evasive starboard or something?
It's okay, Osaka Bihime.
We're in void space, remember? There is no... Are you sure? Are you absolutely positive about that? Because I don't know anymore at this point. I've never been able to wrap my head around this meta magecraft stuff, especially when it comes to void and reality space. Uh-huh.
Unlike my Norse mythology's dualistic worldview, other religions tend to think of the early stages of existence as primordial chaos. They saw it as a writhing, seething mass of everything in the world all mixed together. Land, water, heat, cold, good, evil, and so on, thereby harboring limitless possibilities. In one sense, void space is similar in that it too possesses untold possibilities. But unlike primordial chaos, which accomplishes this by mixing everything together at once, I believe void space does so by being unobservable. That is to say, this is the reverse side of the world, a completely opaque domain where not even established laws of physics can be glimpsed. As a result, there's no possibility here that cannot be assumed to exist in some form.
So if it can't be observed, why are we able to see outside the window right now?
An insightful question.
The truth is, we are not actually seeing this rainbow-colored vortex, at least in the true sense of the word. Uh-huh.
Under normal circumstances, the reality we belong to and the void of this domain cannot interact. While we're able to see this void thanks to the zero sales engineering, it cannot overcome the insurmountable gap that still lies between us. Thus, our senses are only able to experience false impressions of the void, making this rainbow sight no more than a hallucination. As a matter of fact, you and I are not even seeing the same rainbow when we look out that window. Conversely, if there were any beings who called void space home, they would no doubt be unable to observe our world as it truly is either. So long as this insurmountable gap exists, reality space and void space will remain fundamentally incompatible and unable to interact with each other.
I see, or rather I don't see, huh? By the way, Miss Scotty, should we be worried about that alarm? Probably.
Very well, my pupil. Listen closely. According to the gods' explanation,
it is impossible for us to see or touch anything that belongs to the unobservable domain. Again, are you really certain about that? Are you positive? Because I'm starting to doubt that. Therefore, it should also be impossible for us to detect any manner of obstacle here, let alone be obstructed by one in any real sense.
I believe our captain here already said as much.
Yeah, that's right. Well, there are technically some shockwaves on the mirror world plane of existence that could theoretically be obstructions. We've already calculated a way around them.
So I'm guessing this alarm is just some kind of glitch caused by the berserker messing with things he shouldn't.
Humph.
I don't know about that.
Come to think of it, Shang Yu wasn't around for the Nemo series introduction either. I swear, what could he be thinking?
You wish to see me, Captain?
Ah? You actually hear Shang Yu?
I apologize for my absence and for the insufficient explanation I'm about to give you. Everyone cover your ears.
Eh? What? Said Will, quickly moving to cover your ears. Oh? Eek! Wow, my ears!
What's he up to this time?
Are you alright, Senpai?
I don't see their mouths moving, but I'm pretty sure I get the gist. Now Shang Yu is taking the bundle of bamboo he's holding. No, wait, it's a brush, and he's drawing something with it at incredible speed, all while continuing to shout at the top of his lungs.
There's nothing more I can do. Here, Master, take this.
Oh. Okay.
As my body will be quite unsuited for this upcoming battle, I opted to take numerous advanced measures to prepare for it. My apologies once again for doing so with neither permission nor explanation. I implore you to hit the brakes and open the box. In the meantime, I'll sleep until I am needed once again, so that I may better conserve energy.
Eh?
Good luck, Master.
That's not concerning at all. I'm not sure I can recall Shang Yu ever saying anything like good luck before, Senpai. Acting Vice Commander, Captain, let's stop the ship.
Were you not listening earlier, Master?
There are no obstacles in void space. None. I'm gonna listen to the robot thing that computes, like, every possibility imaginable, okay? Like, you have theory. He calculates real possibility. So I'm gonna trust Shang Yu here.
Everyone in the Nemo series agrees that this is just an equipment malfunction. The only thing we're worried about is you letting that berserker jerk you around.
Even so, I'd still like you to stop the ship.
Alright, but only because you're the commander now. Engine room, full reverse, emergency stop. Shh. An emergency stop and knowing a damn thing in the way? Fine, Triton wheel reverse. Roger that. It's gonna be a little bumpy, so you may all want to hang on to the...
What? No this not be a submarine usually this violent? No, I think we hit something.
No, I don't know how, but we've run aground. Hang in there, everyone. Nemo series, damage report ASAP. Engine room here. That impact knocked a few of us out.
Damn it, what idiot put a reef in the void sea?
Infirmary here. All my equipment is still working fine. Just let me know if you have any casualties. Observation room here. We've got a huge crack in the outer shell, and we're taking on what? Rainbows.
We're what?
Computer room here. Things aren't looking great. Whatever we hit has pierced the hole and lodged itself inside. Also, I'm trapped under some equipment that got knocked over. Wait, what the? How is the void flooding in here? That shouldn't be possible. Impossible. Then our observation of the void is converging? Professor, what's going to happen if we don't do something to stop the flood? Give it to me as simple as you can. Simply?
We'll all be wiped out. Ow, 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 ow. Professor! No!
Abandon lower compartments 4 through 6. All hands. I want all bulkheads to abandon compartments bolted shut. Erect an observation disrupting bounded field as soon as they're done.
What about Professor and that Marine? I can always clone them again. That's a bit cruel, but I guess, okay.
Might have to deal with some mental damage from the fear and pain they'll experience, but...
By my command spell, both of you get up here now. Damn, we're wasting a command spell on saving... Okay, maybe is it really a waste?
Whoa, I'm saved. Yay, I'm still alive.
I might have peed myself a little. I won't hold it against you, don't worry. If I was about to be dismantled by void rainbows, I would probably also piss myself.
Are you nuts?
Just because you can restore them with the Nautilus's magical reactor core, that doesn't mean you should be so quick to use command spells. I'm not gonna just let you or any of the Nemo series die if I can stop it.
I see. That explains a lot, actually. Thank you, Acting Commander. No, Master. What was that, Captain?
Why was I drowning in rainbows of all things? Also, I think I was starting to lose my mind while that was happening.
This shouldn't be possible, but the only explanation that makes sense is that void space is somehow observable now.
What do you mean?
Like that goddess lady said earlier, under normal circumstances, there shouldn't be any possible way for us to properly observe the void. If you asked 100 people to describe what they saw, you get 100 different answers, none of which you'd be able to verify in any way. So void entities always maintain their unobservability, making it impossible for reality and void to interact. At least that's how it's supposed to be, but... if someone or something changed void space in a way that's that everyone who observed it saw the exact same rainbow vortex, then both reality and the void would each be able to observe the other. And that would cause those of us from reality and this world of void to start... bugging out.
Bugging out?
Listen, every human sense and ability to process information we developed over thousands of years, that is, our senses and even our connection to the world, would go haywire.
Meaning... Okay, fine. Either we go completely mad, or the world around us does. I don't know what would be worse.
More specifically, our perception of the world, or perhaps the world itself, would become twisted beyond recognition. Proving which of the two was being affected would be impossible. But either way, the result is the same. Total annihilation. Suffice to say, we can no longer look at any light coming in from the outside. We can't afford to touch it, and we definitely can't let it flood the ship. As of this point, we can no longer count on void space's unobservability to keep us safe. The world outside the pressure hole and our bounded field is now just as deadly and hostile as the deep sea.
Just... wow. I had no idea void space was so scary. I mean, it's literally called void space. Like, what of course it's scary.
Of course it is.
Any kind of completely unobservable domain you can imagine was never going to be anything less than the stuff of apocalyptic nightmares. True.
But even so, this was supposed to be the safest sea in the world to dive into, if only because I thought we wouldn't have to worry about reefs.
The bane of submarine crews everywhere.
Well, so much for that. Damn it, I knew we should have at least finished developing the ship's defensive barriers. Bridge here. We just finished sealing off the bulkheads, and the ship's come to a complete stop. The rest is up to you. Right, first of all, we need to prepare for a low-speed emergent...
Oh, come on, Nani, the hell's it now? Collapsed in wide-eyed shock. Honestly understandable.
No way, are we under attack? We sure are, Acting Vice Commander. Incoming attack to our portside pressure hull bearing 323.
The barrage looks to be about as strong as a C-rank noble phantasm. A C-rank noble phantasm? That puts it in the same league as Mori's Ningen Mukotsu and Kintoki's Golden Spark. Well, that sounds pretty not great. Yeah.
Of course it's bad. I mean, we're okay for the moment, but an attack in void space?
Who could possibly be attacking us? I guess that's what we'll find out. Never mind how things are supposed to work here. Let's just focus on getting out of the bind burn right now.
I know, but we don't have any means of fighting back. When we sealed off the lower decks, we also lost our entire stock of torpedoes. And even if we hadn't, how are we supposed to fire them in void space?
We never dreamed combat here was even possible, let alone that we'd be forced to engage in it. Oh man, come on, Ritsuka, keep it together.
Master, wait, I just remembered. Didn't Shang Yu also tell you to open the box?
True. That's it. What's in the box? What's in the box? Mash's swimsuit? What's one of my outfits doing in here? Wait, Master, look, there's also a note with some familiar looking handwriting inside. I mean, I guess this makes sense. Okay. Because I guess digital C technically, and yeah, okay, yeah.
Hello, senpai. You just can't help getting into trouble, can you? Well, lucky for you, your considerate, capable Kohai foresaw such an occasion and decided to send you a little secret weapon to help you out of it. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to make more than once as your oversized mecha friend Shang Yu sprung the order on me at the 11th hour.
Hey, do me a favor and tell him to give me a heads up about these things ahead of time next time, okay? In the meantime, I really want to be able to deny any involvement in this latest incident, so I'll be off on the far side of the moon, shoring up my alibi. Good luck, yours truly, BB. I mean, I don't think we would have tried to blame you anyway, but... Okay. It's a gift from the Moon Demon! Huh? You want me to change into the swimsuit? Here? Sorry, but there's no time. I'm going to use a command spell. Okay. I can't say I'm entirely okay with this, but there, I'm all changed, Master. Although I still don't see why using a command spell to change your servant into a swimsuit is, definitely one of the uses of all time. Mash?
The sea.
The sea is calling to me! Captain, permission to use the ship's airlock?
You don't mean...
I do. I don't know what BB did to the swimsuit, but I think I can even move about in the sea just like any other now. So I'll go out and fend off the attacks myself. Don't worry, I'm not a shielder for nothing. I don't know how BB made it so the swimsuit protects you from void space, but you know, we won't question it. I'm sure there's a perfectly reasonable explanation. All right. Yeah, I'll give you this. I guess. I mean, yeah, but like, I feel like the far side of the moon is. I mean, maybe it's the same thing. I suppose, but I feel like that there's a lot of problems with assuming that this void sea works the same as. That's probably fine. Probably similar enough. Yeah, we should mold Camelot.
神明凍結展開これは多くの道多くの願いを受けた幻想の城こうせよモールド・キャメロット
I don't know how she's okay.
ドッカーンごめんなさい大胆に活動的に
I just feel like there's a lot of problems with this, but maybe not. Maybe it's fine.
Yoしいいですよドッカーン神明凍結展開
So many numbers. See, this doesn't make sense. Dark side nor the other explanation about everyone seeing something different. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll trust it. I'll just not question it. I'll just, you know, that's probably the best way to go about these things. You just don't question it. It works. That's fine. That's how most of these situations tend to go. Loading. Unknown. I never like when it's an unknown class we're fighting. I don't like it. Well, time to face the music, by which I mean an angry mash. Well, forcefully changing her into a swimsuit. I do have things that I would like to say about my forced swimsuit change, but that can wait until later. For now, I can at least say this outfit BB gave us works extremely well. Not only does it let me perceive void space as easily as I can reality space, it even feels like it's boosting my physical capabilities. That said, I still wasn't able to get a visual on the enemies attacking us. All I could do was flail around at random and use my noble phantasm. That's way better than nothing. I don't even want to think about what might have happened if we hadn't had that.
And Shengyu and her ally from the moon must have foreseen this predicament in far greater detail than we imagined.
Then couldn't they have told us that so we could prepare ahead of time? But I guess we probably wouldn't have believed them, or at least the captain wouldn't have. Take it easy, Scotty. You were out so hard you were practically drooling not too long ago. Don't call her out? Very well, I think I'll rest a bit longer then.
Worry not, I'm still listening. Yes.
Shengyu seems like he would know what's going on, but he shut himself inside his room and isn't responding to any of our questions. I just realized, so it said that Shengyu brought in a whole wooden crate, right? I was imagining like a big crate. And all that was in it was that note from BB and Mash's swimsuit. Maybe it was a smaller crate than I assumed, but... Because I guess there are smaller crates, but okay.
The only thing he said before entering sleep mode was that he was
Doing so to conserve energy.
Yeah, it looks like he was right about everything. The sections we abandoned contained our computers, navigational equipment, torpedoes, food,
Most of our magical energy resources.
With all of them gone, the Nautilus will only be operational for about 150 more hours. Shengyu must have known that maintaining servants' materializations constantly consumed small amounts of magical energy, and taken what measures he could to make up for that.
I just wish he'd given us a hint about what was going to happen. Again, would we have believed him?
He must have been so focused on his calculations that he couldn't spare the time. Anyway, the fact remains that if it wasn't for him, we
Probably wouldn't be here now.
I can't believe I ever doubted you, General Shengyu.
Wow, you made a complete 180 on him.
And when you realize you've been wrong, you admit it as soon as possible. That is the law of life at sea. Not that it's going to make up for my idiocy now.
Oh no, the Nemo series are all depressed.
If you're still that optimistic about our situation, Acting Commander, maybe I need to revisit just how bad things are right now for you.
Our ship has run aground on a void reef, ridiculous as that sounds, and now we're stranded.
We can still move, but only just. What's more, we can only use our legs, so to speak, since our sonar and torpedoes are gone. To keep the body metaphor going, we've lost our eyes, our ears, and our arms, though I suppose we can at least blindly stumble around. Well, that's better than nothing. And if that wasn't bad enough, we've also been attacked by a mysterious enemy with attacks as strong as the mid-range noble phantasms. So now we need to evade this enemy and the reef without nearly enough in the way of food or fuel. We're left with two rather unappealing options. Wait here to die, or run around blindly until we die. So forgive me if we're not exactly bursting with enthusiasm.
It's gonna be alright. Things are gonna work out somehow. They always do.
Huh?
Captain, the acting commander is fully aware that our current situation is dire. But we found ourselves in seemingly hopeless situations before. Many a time.
And we always managed to pull through. And we didn't do so alone. We wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for Chaldea's staff, the heroic spirits, and the people we met on our travels.
Even here, we've already received help from the moon despite being cut off from Chaldea. So remember, we're not the only ones here. There's also you, the Nemo series, Osaka Behime, Scotty.
Suffice to say, we're far from alone. Yeah, I know I was kind of freaking out earlier,
but with things this bad,
I'm ready to do my part.
Hang on, my nose is runny. Hang on 1 second.
I didn't have a tissue on hand like I usually do.
Eh.
Yeah, let me move some water bottles around. I gotta clean off my desk. It's so messy.
Okay. On which note, I suppose I can no longer simply lie down on the job It's time we got serious. You're right. I shouldn't have been so quick to succumb to fatalism. Alright then, Mash and Ritsuka. Let's look for the silver lining in these dark clouds. Well, first off, there's this bamboo scroll Shang Yu left for us. I think this is what people in ancient China used to take notes. At any rate, it contains an incredibly detailed diagram of some sort. It looks like a navigational chart. See, I just had a thought. Maybe that super loud yelling was actually him doing some kind of echolocation scan.
Maybe?
Let me see that. If you're right about what this is, it looks like there's a pretty intricate oceanic trench here. In fact, it kind of looks like a maze. Oh, the chart even shows our current location, the route we should take, and a mark indicating what appears to be our destination. Maybe this could help us escape? As if he hadn't already helped us enough. Then again, I suppose I should expect no less from him. Still, this only makes the loss of our sonar and torpedoes all the more painful. It would be one thing if they were still repairable, but with them gone completely, well... Unfortunately, we also don't have any of the engineering know-how or facilities we would need to make new advanced electric and spiritron equipment from the machinery we still have on hand. So, Acting Commander, what do you think we should do next?
Look for someone here who can help us, or someone who can. Yeah, it's that easy, duh.
I see.
Normally I'd be pretty dubious about the prospect of finding anyone in void space, let alone someone who could help us. But given the impossible in your mind has already happened, it's possible?
Well, since we've already run into reefs and enemies here, it seems clear
that the usual rules no longer apply.
As for the summoning option, we need to be very careful if we take that route. Like I said before, it costs energy just to keep a servant materialized. Honestly, keeping too many servants around would be extremely risky, even if the ship were in perfect condition. Not to mention, there might be circumstances where we need to shut off the magical reactors. But we also can't deny that having someone here help us make new versions of lost equipment would improve our situation dramatically.
Yeah, maybe we could get Edison or Tesla here.
It's also the only strategy we can actively pursue given the current circumstances, so that alone may make it worth trying. I just ran the numbers. With Shang Yu sleeping, we should have enough energy to keep another servant around, no problem. I guess that settles it then. In that case, Ritsuka, I have something important to tell you, and a suggestion to make. Remember, we're not in the Lost Belt or Singularity. Void space or not, we're still in the Wandering Sea. Which means we're also still on Chaldea-based premises.
I guess if I had to assume, I would probably assume Van Gogh. Given, you know, well, yeah, probably Van Gogh. But we'll see. I originally assumed we'd encounter Van Gogh out in the Void Sea, but now that the summoning is on the table, I'm gonna go with that.
Void space or not, we're still in the Wandering Sea, which means we're also still on Chaldea-based premises. And while we may have suffered some significant damage, we still have magical reactors and a servant handling computer duties. That makes this ship something of a Chaldea branch office, which means you can use the Spirit Origin graph for the summon.
So that I can call on either a Chaldean servant or one I formed a connection with before. Or maybe not.
That's right. Which means we can summon a servant we know we can trust and who has the skills we need. Performing an additional summon during a Nautilus voyage would normally be unthinkable, but in this case I think it's an acceptable risk. That's also why we need to be extremely careful about who we choose to summon, So my suggestion is to let Professor make that choice. My suggestion is temporarily activating the personnel selection routine Shion implanted in my mind to arrive at the best possible choice. The upside of this approach is that it let us almost completely eliminate any risk of our making a mistake and choosing the wrong servant. The downside is, well, I've never run this protocol before, so I'm more than a little nervous. Oh, and also Shion's routine's been known to make some incomprehensible personnel choices before, as I'm sure you've seen for yourself, Master. Like Abby. Right, still, as General Shang Yu's exploits here proved, there are ultimately good reasons behind those choices. So what do you think, Ritsuka? I'll let the Nemo Professor handle the selection. Yeah. Alright, I don't see any reason to refuse, so... As captain, I officially endorse this plan to summon help.
Lend me your shield, Mash.
Rick-senpai. It's a class signal. Is that...
Not someone we've met before? Right? Oh. That's definitely not Venga. That's definitely not. Unless she changed all of a sudden, but
How? I heard someone summoning and thought I'd try answering it. I'm Yu, a foreigner.
do I know you or you? Huh? For some reason, I feel like I have some vague memories of her. Probably a previous event.
If I may, senpai,
I don't believe we know this heroic spirit. Are you a court musician? Does anyone here recognize her? Judging from her clothing and her choice of greeting, she would seem to be a heroic spirit from somewhere in proper human history's Asia. Oh, New Year's servant, okay.
Never mind that now.
What happened to summoning a Chaldean servant, Professor?
Yeah, this is weird. Give me a sec while I check the logs. Looks like the personnel selection routine ran into an error while it was searching for aptitude and failed to use the spirit origin graph to narrow down the possible summons. Oh, great! That caused the heroic spirit control program to glitch out, so it ended up summoning a heroic spirit from the usual throne instead. I suppose this just emphasizes how important it is to test things like this ahead of time. Lesson learned.
So, we had a summoning accident?
Yeah. Damn it, our only hope down the drain. No, not yet.
I refuse to give up just yet. Yu, what can you do?
Yu,
You must be an accomplished heroic spirit, right? Would you please tell us your true name and special skills? You guys do seem like you're in a pretty tight spot, but my true name? Right off the bat? I don't know. So, I can totally tell. Do you know her? Tell what? This genuine nobility and elegance shining through even as she attempts to hide it behind a friendly demeanor. I'll call it PDF, Princess Dominion Force, for short. As a point of comparison, I have a PDF level of 2, and hers must be at least 336,000. Oh crap, Baddie's broken. Even in Caldio, which is its own kind of Jigoku thanks to all the high PDF princesses running around there, the only other one with a PDF level in the 6 digits is Lady Cleopatra. It's this beautiful lady from China with enough PDF to rival one of the greatest empresses of all time can only be... yes, I guess you're right. She's like, who the hell is this? What the hell is she talking about?
My true name is Yang Yu Huan, though I usually go by my nickname, Yu.
Historically, I guess I'm probably better known as Yang Weifei.
Oh, Oh gosh, this is so embarrassing. Nice to meet you all, I guess.
I could swear I've dreamed about this.
I recognize that name. Ying Guifei was known
Far and wide as a peerless beauty during China's Tang Dynasty when she became Emperor, Xuanzong's queen consort. It said that she set 100 men's hearts aflame with a single smile, and she was also highly proficient in numerous fine arts.
Is that why she has a musical instrument with her?
Anyway, that's Yang Guifei in a nutshell. She's a beauty so stunning she influenced all of China. A true woman of the people. No, please no more. I'm nothing like that, really. I'm just a commoner, the same nondescript, lychee-loving village girl you'd find anywhere. And she's unbelievably humble, too, Master. I can't help but be a little nervous around her. Still, as acting vice commander of the ship, it's imperative I ask questions and need answers.
Ying Guifei, do you know why you materialized as a foreigner?
Huh? Foreigners are exceedingly rare, even among the extra classes.
And there's still a lot we don't know about them.
All we can say based on our experience is that foreigners can turn the very laws of this world on their head.
Fortunately, Abby and Hokusai know what they are and have kindly agreed to both keep themselves in check and help us with our mission. But what about you, Ying Guifei?
She's like, what the hell is a foreigner? Do you understand you're a highly unusual kind of being? Are you able and willing to keep your spirit origin under control? And most importantly, are you willing to help Master Ritsuka and us during these unprecedentedly dire circumstances?
I am happy to say my answer to all your questions is she. That is yes. Allow me to explain. First, I'm very aware that the heroic spirit summoning system is meant first and foremost to keep humanity safe. Next, my spirit origin.
I appreciate you dancing around at MASH, but the fact is, historically I'm a femme fatale, so dangerous it could bring an entire nation to ruin, right? I guess, sure. I can't deny there are some historians out there with that opinion, yes.
It's fine. I don't love it, but it is what it is. Anyway, thanks to that.
I do think I've been given the authority to wreak widespread havoc and destruction. Oh. That's not great.
Still isn't a spirit origin.
I feel terrible that I ended up indirectly sparking a rebellion, and would never go around hurting people like some sort of avenger.
Also, since my beloved Emperor would obviously never want anything bad to happen to humanity, I'm not about to let some strange god get away with destroying them. So yes, you, swear to make use of all the power at my command to help you, Master.
You could even use a command spell on me to make sure I do just that if you like. No, I believe you. It's okay, I believe you. By the way, I'm Ritsuka. How you doing?
Ritsuka. Great. Nice to meet you, Ritsuka. Now, would it be okay if I get to work right away?
Huh? Sure, but what's this about? I'm guessing it's because many people thought I was a great performer, but for whatever reason, I have really good hearing.
You do? Then does that mean you can even hear what's happening outside the ship? In fact, ever since I got here.
I've been hearing someone outside pounding on the ship and saying, "There are enemies coming." Oh. Should we let that person in, do you think, or?
Someone outside the ship? In void space?
Maybe they're the local ally we didn't dare hope for.
Van Gogh? Captain, permission to exit the ship again. I'll go rescue whoever it is that's outside. Permission denied. I can't let you go out there alone when we know there might be enemies nearby. If it was just me, I could move about like a normal in void space too. But no, I can't. It wouldn't be safe for me to leave the ship when we still don't know what's going on. Not to worry. That shouldn't be a problem anymore.
Why?
Huh? Yeah.
What? I like how Scotty just turned into the normal Skahawk's swimsuit. Because swimsuit Scotty hasn't happened yet. She's just like, I'm still technically Skahawk as well, so close enough. What the heck kind of kinky stuff is happening here?
There. I've transformed into my other self.
I'll explain later. For the time being, now that we have more personnel who can move about in void space. I mean, technically, right, she should have the same proportions as regular Skahawk. So, I mean, there's no reason she couldn't wear the same swimsuit. Technically. So, I mean, her artist said Scotty's butt is bigger. Okay. I guess because maybe Scotty doesn't get as much physical exercise, so she doesn't have the same fat burning as regular Skahawk. So she got more thickness. That's the actual explanation. Honestly, fair enough.
I'll explain later.
For the time being, now that we have more personnel who can move about in void space,
We should have no issue defeating these enemies.
and securing this mysterious being outside the ship.
What is this outfit?
I cannot understand why my other self would ever choose to dress this way. You say that, and then 2 years from now, or from when this point, you actually do have. Yeah.
I cannot understand why my other self would ever choose to dress this way. There you have it, Captain Nemo. What about a 3-person team?
I guess it could work. Alright, Acting Commander, it's your call. I'll go along with whatever you decide.
Are you sure you'll be okay, Mash? You said you couldn't see the enemy, right?
I see. So you're going to be fighting close quarters battles in void space, yes? In that case, if I tweak this and change that... There we go. I think I can do something to help.
What kind of something?
Since this place's true nature looks to be something akin to the pitch-dark depths of the sea, lit by false light, I'll use the flame illusions I give off to imbue these enemies with an appropriate visual concept, thereby making them visible-ish.
Okay.
Basically, I'll determine the enemy's position, size, and class through the sound they make, then project a nice visual on top. That should let you fight them without getting confused.
Very helpful, I guess.
It looks like Yang Guifei is both a handle on our current situation, and she's best equipped to do something about it. I'll admit I was worried about the summoning at first, but it looks like we really did get the heroic spirit we needed.
Alright, everyone, get ready to head out. Lay them low. Kill them all.
Let none survive.
I imagine there's some sort of explanation for why she's only level 60. Like, maybe because she, like, supposedly... Because... She said she changed into her other self, right? Maybe she's... Because she's actively, like, transforming herself. She's lost power? Or just because being in a swimsuit really doesn't agree with her? Oh.
新生を危険山ダイエットもちょっと成功したので鼻高々コンタクト
Yeah, Mash, you draw fire. Fire. We stop the fire. Alright.
えいおー
And what do you do again? Play hard for smack. Uh-huh. Okay.
いいですねラジャー
I guess like how Gilgamesh's divinity ranks down his reason for his hatred of gods. Logos's tentacle. I've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. No way, bro! Unforge. Real unforge. Let me hang on for a second. Yeah. Okay, he became a crab. How crabby. I guess it was something that we had a effectiveness for. Alright. Yeah, no, full combo. Okay, Archer, not great, but crit? Crit? No, okay. That's fine. Ow. That hurt. So rude. There we go. Get some crit stars because we're gonna need some crits. Okay. Yeah, I should get rid of that one first. Yeah, I'll do it like this. Alright, here comes fucking Normandy. Nice, and oh no, so close. It was so close. The 300. Okay. That wasn't so bad. Could have been worse. There, I can see more fleet enemies in our vicinity, as well as a vast expanse of land that looks like a seabed. Good, it worked. Don't rely on this ability of mine too much. I can't visualize enemies they can't hear. Also, the topography you're seeing is a rough projection based on the reverberations I picked up during a battle. I'll refine it once I can use real naval charts as a reference. In the meantime, now that the fight's over, you should save whoever's in trouble out there. The voice has been getting weaker and weaker. I think they're still hanging on to the port side of the outer hull. What if they let go? Well, anyway, try to save them before that happens, Mash. Maybe if I hold out this gay bulg thing and have them grab onto it. Why are you acting like... Okay, because you as Scotty even use gay bulg in some of your attacks. Why are you acting like this gay, like she's saying like this gay bulg thing? Maybe she doesn't even realize she attacks with it as her normal self either. I'm pretty sure there was some attacks of hers where she has gay bulg. I think. Maybe if I hold up this gay bulg thing and have them grab onto it. Ugh, some help this goddess is gonna be. Mash, you go and look for them while I fold up a rescue team. Understood. There, I see them. Good, because I'm too nearsighted to tell. Lead the way. Right.
Ah, there, I see them. Shiogami Rescue Squad, you're up. Hakuro Sea Monkeys.
Are we gonna see her origami? No, okay. Yeah, I guess not.
Oh, we did it, Master. We rescued them.
Great. I don't think those are actually sea monkeys, though. What'd she make?
Rescue Squad returning the ship. Requesting airlock access, Captain Nemo. Bridge here, granted. And we'll give our new guest a proper welcome. You know, Itsuka, that's strange. This whole situation is utterly ludicrous, but I can't help but be kind of excited. The void sea is beyond deadly, and yet someone was still drifting around in it. What sort of person could do that?
A foreigner? Probably.
When we managed to rescue the mysterious castaway outside the ship, I could never have imagined in my wildest dreams who they would turn out to be.
It was Van Gogh. For sure.
Thank goodness, I thought I was going to end up disappearing into the void like so much kelp. Kelp. That's a funny word. It's really tasty, though. Kindness. Thoughtfulness. I love people. Alright, I'm sorry. I almost forgot to introduce myself.
I actually really do like this design. I don't know why why of all people they decided to gender swap Van Gogh. But I do like the design.
Alright, I'm sorry. I already read that. I'm a foreigner servant. As you can see, my true name is Van Gogh.
I'm honestly really hoping that during Anniversary, during the Lucky Bag GSSR, that she's the one I get between her, Wangina, and Mole. Mainly because she was really useful, because I used her a bunch as a support during the Katakuri event. So I'm like... She was just such a useful servant that I really hope she's the one I get. But we shall see. We shall see. And now I'm finally going to actually see what her personality is like. Although we kind of get a glimpse of it in her like combat dialogue as a support, but this will give a better, I guess, example. I mean, we saw her in the Summer 6 rerun, or Summer 6 in general, but you know, that was, you know, it was only like a brief, like what, 2 lines of dialogue and then gone. So, not quite the same. All hands.
It's been 5 hours since the rescue operation. So far, there have been no further enemy attacks. Your course of action turned out to be correct, Acting Commander. The angry Fae's been a huge help, and the person we rescued is assisting us now too. Despite how hopeless things seemed before, I think we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Stop it, Captain. You're going to make me blush. Thank you, though. I'll keep doing my best to be your eyes and ears. By the way, would it be possible for me to work outside the ship, too? How did you make it so you and Osaka Behime could do that, Lady Goddess? Well, the swimsuit our ally from the moon sent us was embedded with this. I believe it's called a memory chip.
Check JP script. Scotty said Crimson Spear of unknown origin and kanji with Gaybolg and kind over it. Oh, so she's But we know she can communicate with the Skahawk that she's inhabiting, right? Because in LB2, there was a couple lines that implied she was getting knowledge from the person she's inhabiting, but that they would kind of So, would she not? Maybe even Skahak doesn't know the origin of Gaybolg and she just came across it? I don't know, no. Okay.
Embedded with, ally from the moon sent us was embedded with this. I believe it's called a memory chip.
Hmm. If I recall correctly, Skahak made it. Then yeah, how does Scotty not know if she can communicate with the... Okay,
There's a mysterious spell burned into it that appears to be, if not void magecraft, then something similar. When a ship is installed into a spirit's clothing, it makes its wearer compatible with void space. Additionally, it improves their physical capabilities. However, the only servants who can make use of these outfits are those who possess swimsuit spirit origins, or who have otherwise acquired a swimsuit in the past. Unfortunately, the only such heroic spirits here are of Sakabe and Mash.
I'm sorry, but it was simply too soon for me to wear one.
Still, if we're able to summon any other swimsuit-capable servants at some point, I can ensure their clothing is similarly void space compatible. I may not know much about modern-day electronics, but I can still duplicate the entire chip with my rune magecraft.
Well, things from the engine room ain't looking great. You've been lucky enough to avoid any critical damage, but the drivetrain's still a mess as we run aground. We need to get to dry dock to even begin doing something about our crazy fuel inefficiencies. And that loud as shit engine rattling you're hearing.
You're heading? Hmm? Whatever knowledge she gets from Scott could be from 1,000 years before Kukulin came to train with her, so maybe the Gaybolg wasn't made by her yet? Maybe. Yeah, maybe the Gaybolg we see Scotty uses some of her attacks. Isn't actually Gaybolg? Or maybe it's weird timey-wimey spacey reasoning that lets her use it. But who knows?
As we lost a whole ton of fuel, best not to expect any rapid maneuvers or speed changes anytime soon. We got beds set up for everyone in the crew compartment. Meals might be a little basic though. Most of our food supply was lost along with the fuel, so we're afraid the servants are all gonna have to make do with just magical energy for a while.
Also the Gaybolg prototype in Gil's treasury. I was gonna say, would Skahak even remotely know about that? But I guess maybe she would have had to base hers off of something. So I don't know. I don't know.
But hey, aside from that, everything's fine. We're really happy you've got so many guests.
Thanks everyone. Then with that out of the way, let's
Talk about our biggest problem. Well, mystery, really.
I'm speaking, of course, of Van Gogh.
Oh, Van Gogh.
Is she really the Vincent van Gogh? And is she really on our side?
Well, I tested a sample of her blood. On the magecraft side of things, her spirit body is circulating an unusual kind of ether at very high densities. Servant blood's already fairly different from standard blood, since it's homeostatic magical energy meant to keep the servant's spirit origin working. But Van Gogh's blood appears to be a step removed even from that. Well, we're still waiting for Professor to conduct her examination. I can see that Van Gogh's spirit or spiritual composition and reactions are similar to a type of plant-based elixir. She may be a heroic spirit using a non-human body, like a special kind of homunculus for her vessel. By the way, the reason I've been using female pronouns for her is because, at least medically speaking, she's 100%, well, female. Well, that's not so unusual. That sort of thing happens in Chaldea quite frequently, does it not? Yeah?
Just because there's precedent for it doesn't mean it's not significant. Hasn't there always been a clear reason for why servants have materialized as a gender other than the one they're generally known to have been?
Yes, there has. There have been cases where a heroic spirit's legend was lost or altered, like with Artoria and Raiko. Others were summoned as part of a unit like Hokusai. And then there's Musashi, whose circumstances are entirely unique. But the common thread among them is all that they are from time periods with very few reliable records. But Vincent van Gogh was a world-famous painter from 19th century Holland and France.
Yeah, he's recent enough to where, yeah, there's pretty much no reason as to why he would be summoned like this. I mean, I guess he could have gone the way of voice crack. He could have gone the way of Da Vinci and wanted to be summoned like this. Like, you never know.
But Vincent van Gogh was a world-famous painter from 19th century Holland and France.
Like, there is, you know, precedent for a heroic spirit actively choosing to... But she's in the... Was it said that you had to be a caster? I don't think it was. Maybe, I don't know. I don't recall it ever saying that it had to do with the fact that Da Vinci was the caster, but again, it's been a while since the beginning of the game, so I could be wrong.
We have ample historical record, including his own self-portraits and even a few photographs to confirm he was male.
It wasn't said we probably need some kind of skill to actually do it.
Well, what did she have to say about herself? You talked to her a bit, right, right, Master?
Well...
You want to know what I was like when I was alive? Oh gosh, it's embarrassing. My life really wasn't all that special. I couldn't hack it as either a salesperson or a missionary, so I just mooched off my parents and my little brother, Theo, and spent all my time painting pictures that never sold.
Yeah. And then you know.
And there were lots of painters I would have loved to be friends with, but my attempt to befriend Gauguin was kind of a disaster. After that, I kind of fell into a funk and ultimately, well...
Yeah. You know. Yeah. I put a gun to my chest out in the little village of, I'm gonna butcher that town name. Avesua? Yeah, that's not really a laughing matter there, Vince, but sure, yeah.
I never would have dreamed that my paintings would be so popular a whole century later. I'm sorry, I can't help but smile about that.
Yeah.
Was there anyone I loved? Of course, Dee. There was Ki, who you might have heard of thanks to her famous quote, and Shen. Yes, they were women.
Same-sex relationships?
What are you talking about? I'm a woman and Ki was a... Oh.
What were we talking about again? Does Van Gogh not even know why? Interesting. Her story definitely lined up with the historical Van Gogh, but... yeah, something's a bit odd there. Alright, the details she shared do line up perfectly with our records of Vincent van Gogh's life. But then there are the grave contradictions her gender brings up considering when Van Gogh lived. For example, the fact that Vincent's a male name, or the fact that her cohabitation with Paul Gauguin would have been a tremendous scandal back then. If she'd been a woman. And then there were all her relationship troubles, the database lists, as those all involved other women too. I don't think she's lying to us, but she definitely seems a little mixed up about her memories. That said, she does seem to be fully cognizant of the fact that she's a woman. Maybe she could be from a parallel world where she lived a similar life to Aravingo. Could be.
If that's the case, I can think of 3 possibilities. 1, she's an unrelated person who truly believes she's Vincent van Gogh. 2, she is Van Gogh, but her gender and memories are scrambled by a spirit origin abnormality. And 3, she's actually an enemy who's lying about being Vincent van Gogh. What do you think, Master?
All I know for sure is she's been extremely friendly. Yeah.
No way! Hokus has materialized too? Really? I'd love to meet her. I'm a huge fan of Japan.
In fact, Japanese artists were a huge influence on my work.
I don't know much about this foreigner stuff, but if you form a contract with me, I'll gladly do anything I can to help.
It's a little worrying that she doesn't seem to realize she's a foreigner, but at least she's not hostile. Yeah, no, that's definitely, yeah.
Alright, in the meantime, whether she's the real Van Gogh or not,
She's already shared some valuable information about void space with us.
I'm still analyzing what she's given us, but at this point it looks to be about 99.9% accurate. My hypothesis is that she was essentially born knowing things about void space by virtue of having materialized here. What's more, she's obviously already proven that she can move about void space freely even without a compatibility chip. So we can say for sure that she possesses protections pertaining to the sea that are at least as strong as ours, Nemo's.
Given those abilities as well as the information she's given us, it seems like she could be a valuable asset in battle.
Yeah. Since she's a servant, that decision's entirely up to you, Master. You're in charge of the ship now, after all. What do you want to do?
I should form a temporary contract with her.
I see your mind is made up as a sea turtle.
Turtle shell's hard, Master. That's an interesting... Okay. Oops, I guess it kind of sounded like Captain Nemo there, didn't I?
For future analogies, you might try a sea snail's tooth. Very tough, those. But I digress. A temporary contract, huh? Understood. We should be able to scrounge up enough resources to keep one more servant. With that being said... Everyone, would you mind excusing us for a bit? I'd like to talk to the acting commander in private.
Okay.
I'm afraid that goes for you too, acting vice commander.
I'd also like you to stand guard to make sure nobody else overhears us.
Oh wow, this must be really important. Alright, understood. Good. Professor, put up an audio jamming bounded field for us, so not even Yang Guifei should be able to overhear. Alright, Master, what I'm about to tell you is a little, well, sensitive, but if I'm going to serve you properly, I think you should know. I think I might know who that servant really is.
Oh? Do tell. I'm all ears. That darn field is causing so much static I can't hear a thing. Wish you knew what they were talking about. Aren't you curious, Your Excellency, Acting Vice Commander Kirilight? Just MASH is fine, please.
Okay then, MASH, what do you think,
Captain and Master are talking about all by themselves. I think they're probably discussing some very fine particulars of this operation, so it makes sense they'd want to keep things confidential. I see, yeah, I guess you're right. Oh well, what can you do? Politics is always a ridiculously complicated hornet's nest, no matter the issue or era. True. So instead of dull and depressing stuff like that, I'd much rather talk about something exciting like romance. Tell me, what do you make of those two's prospects? I think MASH is gonna beat your face in by implying that we would do anything with anyone else other than her. Huh? Are you saying Captain Nemo and Master are, involved? I have no proof, of course, but doesn't the idea of a commander abusing their authority to have a private tete-a-tete with their subordinate just sound dreamy? MASH is like, bitch? No, it does not. She thought about it. She thought about it, though.
Hey guys, you look like you were taking a break, so I brought you some drinks.
Thank you, it looks delicious. Glug glug. Oh wow, that tastes so odd. Is this modern alcohol?
It sure does. That's a cocktail called
The depth charge. Sorry, I know there's an actual cocktail called that, but my mind went to the, weapon first. I was like, oh, but yeah, no. Gurk. Don't worry, these are non-alcoholic. The captain loves to chug these down when nobody else is around.
How? What a lovely drink that everyone can enjoy. How about you, MASH? Do you like it?
This is terrible. If I drink anything called a cocktail, but it's not alcoholic. What do you, what? There's no alcohol in it. Whoa, I don't think I've ever seen anyone be so affected by a non-alcoholic stuff so quickly. Your face is as pink as a peach. My heart rate and blood pressure are rising rapidly. Rational faculties declining. Oh no, if I don't do something soon, I'll be overcome with the urge to burst into the bridge and grill Master with questions. Someone hold her down. I need to shut myself down immediately, if not sooner. Button, where's the button?
Look at this.
I was looking through the storeroom and happened to find the self-destruct switch. Shion certainly has a sense of humor, including something like this among our... Perfect, thank you. Mash out. Click. I can't believe we're fucking dead.
What was that?
This is the backup computer room. Someone just activated the self-destruct device we made for April Fools. Why would you make that? Why would you? Okay. Why would you even make something like that? What the heck?
I told Shion it was a bad idea,
But she insisted it would be harmless. What's the damage, Marine? Wow, everyone's hair is burned to a crisp, but otherwise we're fine.
How can you call this fine?
How are you going to fix my poor hair? Owie, my ears, huh? Wait, this ringing isn't from the explosion. Uh-oh, okay everyone, can the comic relief? There's a ton of enemies headed our way.
What? I'm here to help. I forgot to mention this earlier, but void sea monsters are actually really sensitive to sound. So if you want to survive out here, you really shouldn't make any loud noises. Sorry, I laugh when I'm nervous. Alright, which of you is ready to deploy?
Not MASH.
MASH has fainted. Osakabe is. Missing? Damn, she must have run away.
Very well, I shall just have to go out there again myself. Marines, bring me the strongest liquor you've got. It might help me forget my shame.
Even if you do with that, I still can't send only one servant out there alone.
Well, Van Gogh, you're up.
Very well then, how about this?
I mean, it's close enough to a swimsuit, I guess.
Oh, what's going on? Why did my outfit change all of a sudden?
I embedded a void compatibility spell in your clothing. It's a little rough since you've yet to undergo an ascension, but it should be enough for you to operate outside the ship.
Really? Shishay? With this new ascension form, I can help out outside the ship too. I'd like to go outside as well. Huh? You would? Are you sure you can? Oh yes. I'm already compatible with void space and my brush is itching for some action, so... Would it be okay with you if we formed a contract, Lady Ritsuka? Probably not, huh? I never could attract any patrons.
I trust this is okay with you, Captain.
Contracts are your domain, Master. But I can tell you, if I'd had any objections to her joining our crew, I'd have voiced them before we rescued her.
Vincent van Gogh.
Yes?
You've got a contract. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
Wah! 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 This is awesome! I promise I'll do my best.
I trust ya. Maybe I shouldn't trust ya, but I trust ya. Oh god, it's been a while since I've used Van Gogh as a support before. Oh, I can't even use Noble Phantasm, so it doesn't really matter. But... the curse, just MP trigger isn't enough. I'm trying to remember how to use her. Use creative. Skill order is 2-3-1 with her, I believe. Okay, it's... There's 3 GACHA cards up, but... She's also weak right now. I'll just throw it on Van. Yeah. Alright, oh wait, I don't think I've ever used Yangui Fei before. What do her skills do? Apply Living Flame State, or decrease defense 3 turns. Inflict burn to a single enemy when damaged. And increase defense. Ruinous Beauty, decrease charge on your NP, responding when you respond to the decrease. Okay. Violence will increase MP on you. Sure. Why now? How?
Oh yeah, keep it coming.
Also, Gahak's head is in the way. Oh, we should not gonna talk about her feet, her legs. We're not gonna. Okay, that's probably fine.
嬉しい
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. Probably.
分かったやっちゃうぞ
I'm sure. No problems whatsoever there.
How 嬉しい
Nice. Not nice.
そうだ
Alright, last two. Hmm.
さあたまには上品になさあ
Hopefully she
いい
can
ぞ
kill.
見せてやるともいいよ
I... Unfortunate. I'd hoped the quick card effectiveness and whatnot would have given her enough oomph.
嬉しい
But sadly, no.
分かった塗って塗ってやっちゃうぞでは勝利の舞と宴をここに
Man, now I kind of want Yangui Fei too. I just want all the foreigners at this point.
Hooray, we won! I know I could kick butt in combat. And I have to say, Vingal, you and I fight really well together. You're amazing, Vingal. Say, would you mind if I called you Gahi?
Oh.
Huh? This is great.
I always wanted to try collaborating.
With an artist from a different culture. I knew it.
I cannot abide the shame. Now I must find Osakabe and drag her from hiding, whatever it takes. Why did Baddie run away anyway? She must have caught on to the tactic I was about to suggest. Tactic? Yeah, what you mean? We send her out to perform reconnaissance by firing her out of a torpedo tube. I'm not really all that down for that plan either, to be honest. I feel like that's a bit dangerous for her. I don't know, man. That, bit fucked up, innit? A little bit fucked up. Alright.
No!
We found her.
I captured the deserter captain.
This should make up for my crime of somehow inebriating the acting vice commander by giving her a non-alcoholic cocktail, right?
Good work, Marine. But no, it doesn't.
What? How is he supposed to know?
You there, other Marine.
Have the culprit write a formal apology after tickling his armpits for 600 seconds.
Aye, aye, sir.
I'll tickle the heck out of him.
Save me!
What the heck? Alright, returning to the matter of Osaka Behime serving as the focus of our groundbreaking sonar substitute.
Yeah!
Flailing around.
Would you all mind explaining how it'll work?
As has been so recently demonstrated, void space is overrun with vicious monsters that are sensitive to sound. Excuse me, teacher? The acting commander is already lost.
Allow me then. Just so there's no confusion, it's best if you think of the void space we're in now as something completely different from the original void space. You see, the idea that void space was always full of dangerous reefs and monsters is simply too divergent from current theories in magecraft. With the information we have now, the most likely explanation is that someone tampered with this void space to make it observable, then scattered reefs and monsters all throughout it. While I'm curious as to what that someone can do and what their goal might be, it's not relevant to our current predicament. More importantly, the fact that these monsters are sensitive to sound would seem to indicate that they're well acclimated to this new void space's characteristics. It's like the unknowable chaos here divided itself into waters of Arch and monsters of Logos. Miss Van Gogh's explanation may not be entirely clear, so to elaborate. Whatever originally occupied void space seems to have split into two clear types of entities, thanks to our ability to observe void space now. If we were to compare this void space to a painter's palette, both the monsters and the reefs would be made up of thick paint, and the rainbow light that now permeates the space would be made up of thin paint. The rainbow light's dangerous, so much so that just viewing it with the naked eye is risky, but it also possesses other notable characteristics. I've been referring to it as light, but that's just for simplicity's sake. It isn't actually light. Its luminescence is entirely illusory, which is why it doesn't illuminate anything and it refuses to let our retinas retain its true image. Like Miss Yangui Fei said, this place is essentially pitch dark. If anything, the rainbow light we're seeing now, thin paint if you will, is more like water in its consistency. So although it has the same low density as air, it also swells, leaks, and vibrates like water, which means it's very good at carrying sound. That also explains why these void monsters are more sensitive to the sound than light. Seems reasonable. So using the propellers and engaging in combat, to say nothing of the absurd commotion of a moment ago, will all attract enemies. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Mash. Go rest up. I'll fill you in later. I'll fill Mash in. I mean, what? Huh? What? Huh?
So basically, this is pure submarine warfare. We're stuck in the deep sea devoid of light, and we basically have to find our enemies by sound alone, without making any noise that could give away our own position. Unfortunately, that also means we're incredibly disadvantaged in numerous ways. First and foremost, with the Nautilus in our current shape, even starting the engine can make enough sound to trigger an attack. Second, the enemies seem to generally lie immobile and only attack when they notice us. That's for sure. I was drifting around here for a long time and they didn't do anything to me. But if you make a sound, anything from the little guys that just attacked us to things bigger than this entire ship will be on us like paint on canvas. It must have been the large enemies that were blasting us with noble phantasm level attacks. We still don't know exactly what those attacks were. At any rate, we know there are a lot more of them than there are of us. They've got us surrounded and they're just waiting for us to make a sound so they can find and attack us. Meanwhile, with our radar out of commission, Yangui Fei's hearing is all we have to guide us. And with the enemy not making any sounds of their own, we have no choice but to do so ourselves. You mean like active sonar? Where you send out a sound and determine your enemy's position by how long its waves take to bounce back? That'd be really, really dangerous. Right. If we were to do that right now, it would obviously draw the enemy's attention. So that option's off the table. Which is where Osakabe comes in. Her bounded field and noble phantasm and the divination she uses to prepare for it are really quite remarkable. In essence, she performs a fairly wide area curse-based scan to distinguish friend from foe, before firing her noble phantasm. It's like a third eye that relies on neither sound nor sight. With this ability, we can locate our enemies while remaining completely quiet. I think it's an ideal solution.
But to do that, you're gonna shoot me out into the void sea all by myself, right? That's way too dangerous for my blood. What was that? I think you were about to say exciting.
Of course, I'm not gonna send you out there by yourself without any way to get back. It'll just look like we are.
Uh-huh. Oh crap, now Captain's actually thinking about doing it. No! I don't wanna die!
You're a survival game expert, yes? Then you must understand how important recon is.
Well, yeah, I do get that. I guess he just hoped for a, indoor option?
I see. I'll do my best to make that happen. Now, what's the radius on your bounded field scan?
Let's see.
It extends out to about Himeji Castle's inner moat, so maybe 600 meters or so? Looks like the naval chart Lord Shengyu left for us is at least 100 square kilometers.
Damn it, there's nowhere to run. At least to make sure I'll have a way to get back safe. And a reward if I pull this off. Oh, Nagashi, please, Machan. If you pull this off, you can use one of my command spells any way you like. I don't know what she would get out of... reverse command spell play? I didn't even know that was a thing. I believe I read some supplementary reading material starring BB that had something similar. I think I recall something of the sort. I think it was like BB and Shuten Doji, I think, were in it. Some along those lines. I vaguely recall. No. I didn't even know that was a thing. Master, are you sure it's safe to give Osaka Behime that much freedom? It's okay. I'm pretty sure she won't use it for anything too evil. Yeah, are you sure? Remember, I once masterminded a pretty badass coup as the Lord of Siet Pyramid Himeji Castle. Yeah. Okay, Captain, if this means I'll get a do anything I want ticket, read command spell from Machan, then I'll do it.
Great, that takes care of our sonar substitute. Now our ultimate objective is to reach the escape point General Shengyu laid out for us, and our immediate goal is to seize control of every region along the way. Professor's already come up with a route and identified 4 areas that we'll need to pass through on our way to our goal. Until we can ensure a region is safe, we'll have the Nautilus remain on standby at its periphery, and send Osaka Behime out to probe the area. When she's determined an enemy's location, we'll have her and Gohai and Yangui Fei swim over and eliminate them in close quarters combat. Okay, whether it be to see or fight, you can count on Yu to help. I'll do my best too. Acting Vice Commander Mash, you'll remain on board as our last line of defense against any extremely dangerous attacks we may face. Scotty, I'd like you to work with Professor as our head of engineering. Is that alright with you two?
Of course, I'll do whatever it takes to restore my honor.
That's alright with me. That is alright with me too. But are you sure we have the time it will take to enact this plan? As I recall, we only have enough fuel for 100 or so more hours now. You're right, but we don't have any other choice for the time being. We'll just have to keep working on repairs and try to think of a better plan as we go. Let's start with the region we're in right now. For better or worse, the area is fairly narrow, so it should be ideal to determine whether our strategy is viable. Once we finish sweeping the area for enemies, we'll see how much energy we used and... who's tugging on my sleeve? Captain. Why does everyone here look like the Grand Armée
about to go up against General Winter?
You know, that's a perfect analogy. The fact is, we're running low on resources, so we're having to power through on empty stomachs. Does that mean we don't have any food? That's right, we don't have nearly enough food, or most importantly, magical energy. While we're at it, we also don't have enough metal or chemical substances for all the repairs we need. I don't know anything about ship repairs, but I think we might be fine when it comes to food and magical energy. What do you mean?
We can just eat the Logos monsters like I did when I was drifting around. You know, I guess we ate the totally squids but totally not squids in Summer 6, so I mean, I don't know if these are quite the same though. She's right, it turns out that the void enemies we defeated can be processed into both high purity magical energy and food. Oh, okay. So from here on, the combat team will also officially double as the resource procurement team.
Alright, acting commander, give the order.
I don't know if I want to, okay. I don't know how I feel about that. All hands, begin Operation The Great Void Sea Escape.
How? Okay, everyone, let's get our first sortie started.
No!
Oh, stop it already. You're something of a goddess yourself, right?
Start acting like it. But nobody told me I was going to be tethered to the ship with monster intestines! It's alright, the guts we collected from the large enemy are more than strong enough to serve as a lifeline.
In fact, we may even be able to use these parts to repair the ship. Be proud, Osakabe.
The Nautilus's fate is in your hands. What's so funny? Admit it, you're enjoying this, aren't you, you baka sadist goddess? Poor Osakabe Hime. What did she ever do to deserve this? Shiogami Battalion has been added to requests for backup. What? Windows security, virus and threat protection, Windows Defender summary, go away. I don't need to know about... Shaking my head. Windows trying to keep my system safe. Who needs you? Okay, searchable area. Select the area you'd like to scan. Select the sonar and scan the void sea. Investigate the selected area and its surroundings. Okay. Areas with treasure will be surrounded by a faint ripple. Investigate near these ripples for a chance at treasure. Okay. As you conduct your survey, you may detect enemy shadows. Be aware you'll not be able to select the areas beyond an enemy shadow to survey. Continue your survey by navigating around enemy shadows. Can we not engage the enemy? Investigate the void space or clear void sea survey quests and to collect the void survey points. Add to the void sea survey gauge. Fill the void sea survey. Okay. You can choose to call for backup, which will apply a special effect to enemies or allies. The effect will change depending on the ally you select and confirming your party setup. I suggest I can just okay. Interesting. Alright, so we'll check it out. Sure, scan.
艦内戦闘に備えよ。何が出るかわからないからね。
Alright, treasure? Collect flotsam. Sure. The map gave me more sense when it was costing. Yeah. I mean, still, I think it's still an interesting, gameplay feel, but yeah, I could see how in the event version, it'd be really annoying. Probably less interesting when you're having to manage resources. Wait, Baker? Why? Wait, but Baker isn't here. What? We left Baker at home. Okay. Or he didn't make Baker for this trip. So that's weird. Just more Aurora Steel. I don't mind. Aurora Steel is, good.
よし、探索用お坂部姫発射。泣き言は後で聞く。
I imagine the exit to this zone is like over here. But ooh. Okay, I can't engage the enemies. Sad. Alright, we'll just finish clearing the top right there. Yeah, no, giant squids are terrifying. I would concur with that. I'd rather avoid those if at all possible. Ooh, million QP? In the grand scheme of things, not a ton. But, you know, I'll take any QP I can get. Yeah, no, yeah. But I guess I don't know. Didn't want to, I guess, mess with the coding of it too much. I guess it wouldn't be all that hard for them to add it. Ooh, I mean, I already have a bunch of dragon scales, but I won't say no to more. I won't say no to more. Not at all. Yeah, sure. Merlin. You know what? Sure, I'll let my new team stretch their legs a bit. And then as the final member, Ibuki Doji. Yeah, that seems good. I'm down for that. Actually, wait. None of my I shouldn't even bring this one. None of them are modern at all. I should move these back here and give good craft essences, I guess, to the front runners. Yeah, sure. I'm not gonna be too terribly picky about which ones I bring. Oh, damn. I'll take this off. I don't need that. Alright. This will be my first time using Melu or Mr. Shining Star. I've messed around with Bavanshin Barghest a bit, but I only just got Melu last night, so I didn't use her at all. Alright, what are we dealing with? A giant starfish or something? Probably the tentacle fellows. Alright. I mean, I have used this Melu as a support like 3 or 4 times, but
会場で戦いましょう。
リラックスリラックス。
not a bunch. But she's AoE, right? I don't even want to use her Noble Phantasm yet.
ご要望とあらば。
お願い？
切り込む。
Yes, it is a request, indeed, Melu.
面白いね。痛い目を見せてあげる。
Alright. Actually, what does his Zobania do? Increase quick card effectiveness, deal heavy special attack damage to all enemies, plus decrease. Yeah, it's expose invisible hostility way.
お願い？
And then we'll do
記録
this.
更新してみよう。ASM 発射。
And his Zobania.
洗礼活性。限界駆動。
Oh, his name is quite literal, huh? He becomes a shining star.
サバニア。
Alright. I guess, you know, I wasn't expecting him to be quite so literal.
見えた。フェアリーコントロール。すぐに帰るよ。Good hunting, フェアリー。
This actually makes a lot of sense because there are Nemo Marines around who can.
水の乙女。ショーダウンアロンナイト。
That was kind of funny.
空も海も全部私に任せて。苦手なも
She
の
fits
なん
right
て
in.
一つもないわ。
Just instead of a battleship, she gets launched. Actually, no, that was the top of the. I should pay more attention to the background next time we use Noble Phantasm. I think that actually was the top of the storm border. Maybe. I think it may have been.
ウツボが出るかタコが出るか。巨大イカだけは避けたいところだけど。
Alright. Another one. Bring on the whales. I mean, I guess I could ignore the enemies. Yeah, I guess. I can always just come back and kill them. For their sweet
後で差し入れあげますね。
materials. I guess I can do it later off screen.
そこだね。焦らず着実に改造を埋めていこう。
Alright, let me grab these. I'll also grab the treasures that are free. More dragon scales, okay. I will never say no to dragon scales.
ウツボが出るかタコが出るか。巨大イカだけは避けたいところだけ
Let me.
ど。
There's no pulsing, so there's no treasure here, so I don't have to worry about hitting those. Here's probably going to be one because I see the pulse coming out.
そこだね。焦らず着実に改造を埋めていこう。
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big fella. This should be what? Yeah, just QP. Which not bad. You know, I'll take just raw QP.
艦内戦闘に備えよ。何が出るかわからないから
Might
ね。
not have a choice here soon. In combat, no? Okay, there's nothing blocking our way, it looks like.
よし、探索用お坂部姫発射。泣き言は後で聞く。
I guess there's a path that lets you go through without any fighting, huh? If you really want to. But where would be the fun in that? Also, if I recall correctly, some of the enemies are designed to be pain without future supports. Yeah, makes sense. I assume it'll get extended, right? I can't imagine this is it for the map. I assume it'll get extended out.
よし、探索用お坂部姫発射。泣き言は後で聞く。
ごめん、おっきい。後で差し入れあげますね。
Okay, there's another one. Is there any pulsing? No, not yet, so we'll keep going this way.
このソナちょっと重い感じ。引き上げるの疲れそうだな。
Are you calling Osaka Hime fat? I think that Marine just called her fat.
そこだね。焦らず
How
着実に
rude.
改造を埋めていこう。艦内戦闘に備えよ。
What a little
何が出るかわか
shitter
らないからね。
that Marine is. How dare he?
ウツボが出るかタコが出るか。巨大イカだけは避けたいところだけど。
Alright. Oh, a gold chest, eh? Gimme, gimme. What you got? What? Oh, okay, there we go. I was about to say, like, nothing? Alright, let's go back and do the... Alright, getting 4 of them out this time. Shoot Gummy Battalion. Increase buster card effectiveness by 7 hours. Number from... Okay. Didn't actually read it and do it last time. The Unknowable Reef 2. Hey guys, listen to this. What? What? Professor and the Goddess Lady, said they found a way to convert enemy carcasses from void to reality lickety-split. Wow, so what's that mean? It means we can finally eat the void monsters. Why are you happy about that? No man, that's gonna suck for you, Master. I didn't even eat monster meat back on the mysterious island. Monster meat, huh? I guess meat's back on the menu, boys. Okay, Miss Urukai. There you are, Master. Oh, you look tired. Is something wrong? Did you get groggy from one of the Nemo Marines' surprisingly strong drinks like I did? No, Mash. I don't think we have the ability to get drunk from non-alcoholic drinks like you do. Don't worry about your drunken episode, Mash. Really, it's okay. No, the Marines and I were just working out a little. By working out, what do you mean? That sounds like a great way to stay fit in an enclosed space like a submarine. I'd love to join you, but first... Captain Nemo just made an important discovery and he's called an emergency briefing on the bridge. Come on. Alright, Nemo, what you find? Neither, Acting Commander. Thanks for playing with the Marines. I know they can be a little rambunctious sometimes. Anyway, I have good news and bad news. Which would you like to hear first? Does the good news have anything to do with our new monster meat menu? Probably not. So the catfish is already out of the bag, huh? I'll have to tighten up the ship's security protocol when I get a chance.
Leave the Marines alone!
Still, the situation's better than I expected. A lot better. See, we're not just going to eat or burn up the monster carcasses we collected as they are.
Uh-huh.
I know Van Gogh said we could eat them as is, but it turns out she can only do that because of her unique spirit origin. When Professor took a look at a sample of Van Gogh's blood, she found it could convert void beings, that is, imaginary beings, into real ones.
Okay.
After further research, she managed to extract all sorts of useful real materials from void enemy carcasses. It's kind of amazing, really. We now have renewable sources of organic matter, minerals, magical energy, and safe-to-eat cuts of meat, so our resource problem is solved. Again, I don't know if I want to eat that, but this kind of practical experiment's never even been attempted in the history of void-related magecraft, let alone succeeded to this degree. So yes, that's the good news. Oh yeah, that's great news. It's really great. Trying to convince yourself. I see you're not too happy about this either. Osaka Behime and Scotty were pretty stubborn about not wanting to try it, or make you eat it either.
We've certainly hunted monsters for food in past singularities, but these are an especially unusual case. I mean, these creatures live in a sea that drives us mad if we just look at it. I don't think we can blame anyone for being, well, hesitant. Yeah.
Which is why I decided to do this.
Oh? Oh, okay, so he did summon Baker. That's why Baker talked in one of those lines, okay.
Hello, everyone. Oh, it's you. I think we met briefly back at the launch ceremony. That's right, this is Nemo Baker. While she, of course, specializes in baking bread, she's also proficient at cooking in general. Thanks to the new magical energy we have to spare, I was able to convert part of Scotty's Magecraft workshop into a kitchen. So with Baker working her magic, even monster meat will be more appetizing than rations. At least I think so. Captain, can't you take this more seriously? Delicious food is one of the great joys of life on a ship, right? Don't worry, everyone. I'll do my best to make a yummy meal out of whatever ingredients I have to work with. It's not every day you get to go on a cruise after all, so the more good memories you make, the better.
I think I might actually be looking forward to trying this monster meat now. The women who, like, thirst after monsters, something, monster meat, something like that, you know. So yes, that's the good news. Now the bad news, I'm afraid there's actually two things to share here. First, we now know for sure that we can't currently emerge back into reality space. Because of the damage to the ship. Actually, we wouldn't be able to emerge right now even if the ship were perfectly fine, since the void space we're in now has no concept of death. Or depth. Well, specifically, this void space is so deep that it rejects any measurement of depth. The sense of depth we have here now is illusory. As a result, the Nautilus cannot emerge from this place any more than it can dive deeper. Basically, the spells and Paper Moon uses to employ the necessary concepts for emergence are unusable right now. Any attempts to move up or down either simply won't work, or they'll cause the coordinate axes to freak out and make us crash into a rocky shoal. That wouldn't be fun. So we have to be cautious. The hallmark of submarine warfare is its third dimension, but here it's restricted to a two-dimensional plane akin to traditional maritime warfare. So when we encounter enemies, we won't be able to dive down and sneak underneath them or anything like that. Alright, now that you're caught up on the first piece of bad news, you're ready to hear the second. Remember those giant enemies Van Gogh mentioned before? Well, Sonar Hime just picked one up. Sonar Hime. Is she okay? Yeah, she's fine. She's used to being a living torpedo now, and she's sounding more like a seasoned scout every time. You certainly know a lot of interesting people, don't you, Itsuka? Yeah.
At any rate, in reality space measurements, this giant enemy she discovered looks to be over 80 meters long.
That's bigger than your average dragonkin. I know a specific dragonkin who's like 4'11", or something like that. I don't remember exactly how tall Elizabeth is, but yeah.
Yeah, in fact, it's vastly larger than the original Nautilus. Probably twice as big, if the amount of wastewater it's putting out is anything to go by. So yeah, it's huge. Easily big enough to qualify as a bona fide enemy ship. Of course, you may have seen even larger enemies over the course of your travels.
Yeah, I guess Qin Shi Huang was bigger than that. Yeah, I mean, he was pretty large. He was a big fella, even though he was about as strong as a like 2015 iPhone. But you know,
well, that does tell me a lot about the trials you faced to come this far. At any rate, we should expect giant enemies like this one to bombard us with noble phantasm-level attacks, like the kind we saw before. And given the route we're taking, facing those things in close-quarters combat is inevitable. Do you think you can handle them, Master?
I'll do my best, but my priority will be to keep everyone safe. Yeah, of course.
I agree. Which is why I think we should consider sending out the acting vice commander too. So you want me to defend everyone in the close combat team against the enemy like before? That's right. If you can hold your ground and close with the enemy, they shouldn't be able to target the ship either.
Hopefully.
That said, servant combat is Ritsuka's domain. So I'll leave the team formation and the timing for sending everyone out up to you.
I'll make sure we all make it back safe and sound. We say that and then someone dies. And they're like, no! But I feel like no one ever dies in events. At least not anyone on our side, anyway. I could be wrong. Heck, I probably am forgetting someone. I mean, I guess technically Okita Alter back in Gouda, what, 4? Or was it 3? Well, whichever it was. I guess technically she died, sort of? Dupe melt from Seraph. Yeah. Nice, there are a few instances. Just a few. Alright. Very few deaths that actually stick, though. Also, what the heck? We're not meant to win this, right? Right? No. Oh, did it? I think I was talking at the time, so I didn't notice. Okay. We'll just do what we can then. Oh boy. Ow. That heckin' hurt, man.
し様のように塗って塗ってやっちゃうぞ。
Yeah, it wasn't Don Quixote's interlude. I don't remember what I said in regards to it, but I was probably just yapping. Ow. Okay, well. Mash didn't last long. Long enough, I suppose. You know what, sure, what should do?
はい、やれます。
Sure.
書きます。オッケー。
See what her noble phantasm is.
直令天帝の忌避楊大臣の名において発す。死火球は北楽師門の帝を開きウリの軍勢をやここに将来せん。いざや参り守りて踊り打ちかかりてはことびきましょう。現象ウイ気翼連理。
Okay. Well, more epic of a noble phantasm than I was expecting. What the?
この戦争
What
は
the heck?
伝説に残る。
That was way more epic than I was expecting. All right. We need to call him back now. Yeah, we didn't even do like 1/100th of the health. We need to get the hell out of here.
Alright, Marines, get them out of there. Reel in their lifelines on the double. Wait, the reel's jammed.
Now? This is Yang Sonar Guifei calling in from on site. We're dangling like fish on hooks out here. Yeah, we're trying. I'm hearing a lot more creatures headed our way from 275. Sounds like reinforcements. Get us out of here. You get back to the ship on your own, Yang Guifei? No way! This thing will send us flying who knows where if we try swimming away.
There's one thing I can suggest, Master.
If we cut the combat team loose and use my noble phantasm, those of us on the Nautilus may make it out of here alive. What? We're not doing that! We're not doing that.
Alright, I can see how serious you are about bringing everyone back. The way things are going, we need to keep that option as a last resort. We have approximately 70 seconds until enemy reinforcements arrive. Come on, Master. All of you, think.
I can't hold out much longer. Yeah, we're doomed. I knew I should have just stayed in my room like a good Hiko.
So much for my new life. Still, I'm glad I got to meet all of you before I disappear.
Oh, don't give up yet!
Just kidding. This isn't over just yet.
Just a little Van Gogh for you. Okay. Whoa, you sound really confident. Are you stronger than you look? Do you have some kind of secret plan to save us?
Could you all close your eyes? Huh? I'm gonna release my noble phantasm, and even I don't know what'll happen once I do. It's a picture I painted when I was going through a really hard time, and I am a foreigner after all. But I'm sure that if I release it, we'll make it out of this alive.
Go for it. By all means.
Do Vingo. Now what? A computer room here.
All of our instruments just went haywire.
Whatever this is, it shouldn't be possible.
Even in void space, they can only theorize someone activated a noble phantasm on par with a reality marble.
Somebody on the combat team used a noble phantasm we've never seen before?
You have 2 guesses as to who.
Oh wait, hang on. What's this now? Yes. Our instruments are back online and... it looks like things are okay there now. I can confirm that the combat team is back in the safe zone. Master, Captain, if you're going to fire the noble phantasm, now's your chance.
You heard the professor. Ikuze.
So you're choosing to take the fight to the enemy here, huh? Very brave acting, Commander. Attention all hands. Prepare to deploy noble phantasm attack. Of course, the ship won't be able to endure the recoil in its current state, so divert all the energy we can spare to an anti-impact spell. Our target is the enemy ship at 065. The aftershocks should also drive off the reinforcements. Give it everything you've got. If we can't break through the enemy in one shot, we'll all be sunk for sure. I always give it everything I've got. Hey, computer room, you're sure you can keep the engine intact, right?
Nope, I can't. Oh! I can't, but I'll do my best to make sure it at least doesn't come apart entirely. Will that and a dance be enough, scary engine room lady? Oh, ooh, do the professor and engineer have a little thing going on? Hell no, it won't. You mess this up and I'll be making you dance on top of whatever is left of our magical reactors. Maybe not.
Oh no, this is terrible.
Wait, actually, I guess, wouldn't that be self-cessed, I guess, in that case? If they did? Wait a minute. Hang on. wait a second. But I mean, they have different personalities, so is it really self-cessed in that case? I mean, technically, kinda? I don't know.
Oh no, this is terrible. Professor's gonna end up at seafood barbecue.
This is quite the one-person show you're putting on, Captain.
I'm just a bit flustered, and
I am in the mood for a speech.
would you mind?
Go for it.
Alright, everyone. Win or lose, it all comes down to this. Well said, Captain.
That's what being a sailor is all about.
Start up the Triton engine. All sections, final safety checks, go. We've already got the enemy square in our sights, of course. Copy that. Distance to target and attack pattern analysis complete. Unfolding magical energy barrier.
And that's what I'm talking about. Engines 1 and 2. Keep them revved up. Keep them revved right up to the red line.
Would anyone mind if I made a custard pudding for
Today's snack? Not at all.
Alright, here goes.
Whoever dares threaten the peaceful seas
is gonna have to answer to Captain Nemo. Great Ram Nautilus.
Yeah, ram 'em. Ram 'em hard. And of course it ends there. Of course it does. I'm sure everyone's safe and sound, right? I'm sure nothing bad happened to anyone. Not a single one of us is dead. First off, I'm just glad you're all back safe and sound. Oh gosh, I still can't believe we made it back alive. I don't think I really understood what I got myself into before.
I'm happy I was useful.
I wonder what happened back there. I think I saw something, but... Good, my brain. All I can remember is seeing something horrible. Me too, I'm not sure why, but when I try to recall what happened, my head just... hurts. Don't worry about it. This is how you react after we all managed to make it back alive from a fearsome battle. Yikes, warfare has changed a lot since my time.
Angry Faye is right. This is the best possible result we could have hoped for, seeing as we didn't suffer a single casualty. That said, this victory did come at a cost. The ship's frame is only just holding together. The pressure hull is in tatters and it almost costs us our lives to stop that rainbow-colored leak. Luckily, we were able to hold it back thanks to the Nemo series and Scotty, but honestly, I'm not entirely sure how we're still alive. Let's just say I'm glad we've got Nurse here. We lost because we didn't plan well enough. Also, we underestimated our enemy and were way too careless about securing an escape. We might have succeeded at removing the giant enemy blocking our way, but only at the cost of the Nautilus being as stuck as a beached whale. To get moving again, we need to collect everything we can from the area and put it all toward fixing the ship. And since the next areas are only going to get bigger, we'll need to really focus on the resource collection. First, we'll use what parts we have to get the Nautilus ready to sail the Void Sea again. We need to focus on silent running and storage space for extra resources. At the same time, we'll also need to expand our options for Void Sea warfare. Once we have more magical energy, we can and should bring in more servants to help us. That said, it's now clear that attacking those giant enemies with servants in close combat is a fool's errand, and we shouldn't bother trying to do so any longer. So it's going to be absolutely essential that we find a new supply of torpedoes somewhere. I'm afraid we can no longer afford to accommodate passengers. You're now all a part of the ship's crew, and I'm going to work you accordingly. Be ready.
But I don't want to work! Relatable.
That is no way to treat a goddess. But very well. I have plenty of skill and experience helping mortals, so I will do what I must. In particular, I'm guessing the two foreigners will be key to making a way out of this Void Sea, so I'll be counting on you more than ever. Of course. Unskilled though I may be, I'm happy to help any way I can. I'd like to help too, but I don't know if I can. You said you don't remember how you used your noble phantasm? I was so caught up in the moment that I never understood exactly how I was using my noble phantasm or what its effects were. I'm sorry. I really am useless. The only thing I'm good for is eating monsters and,
expelling them is magical energy. I appreciate the thought, but no. Can I call you Vanny? You're fine. You don't worry about blood or expelling magical. Just do whatever Nemo asks of you, and we'll all make it out of here fine.
Vingo, for the time being, your job will be to help the resource acquisition team, and to cooperate with Professor and Nurse's tests. We should have enough blood from you for now, but if we do need more, we'll be sure to ask.
I'd love to see one of your paintings someday. I mean, Van Gogh's paintings are easily Googleable. But I guess maybe you want to see an original in person.
I got a job, and praise! This is amazing. I promise I'll do my best.
Okay, team, you're dismissed for now. We need to talk strategy.
I got a job, steady work, income.
This is so cool. I'm going to do my very best.
Goey? Lady Angry Faye? Are you hugging me from behind? It's so great how well you're fitting in here. It really gets you motivated, doesn't it? I know it is for me. I look forward to working together. Yes, I do too, Lady Angry Faye. Good luck remembering how to use your noble phantasm properly. I'm rooting for you. Why did that painting make that happen? What is a foreigner anyway? What am I?
That's the question we all want answers to. They're Goey. Something akin to, all-out battle cry has been added to request for backup. Oh. But, Yeah. I think we'll stop here. I'm just filling out the map.
ウツボが出るかタコが出るか
But
巨大イカだけは避けたいところだけど
I am
このソナーちょっと重い感じ。引き上げるの疲れそうだな。
I am curious as to
このソナーちょっと
what the hell
重
her
い感
deal
じ。
is, because
引き上げるの疲れそうだな。
I guess it's not unusual for there to be servants to have different like circumstances
探
from
索用お
normal.
坂部姫発射泣き言は後で聞く
Like there have been a few cases of that over the course of the story and the other events, but
後で差し入れあげますね。
she was somehow summoned here with a not a different type of spirit, like
何が出るかわから
apparently
ない
made
か
from
ら
like homunculus or something. Her is what her vessel is, or something along those lines. At least that's what the Nemos theorized.
ウツボが出るかタコが出るか巨大イカ
So
だけは避けたいところだけど
almost borderline like a pseudo servant almost.
よし探索用お坂部姫発射泣き言は後で聞く
But instead of having like a human that they took over or using their body for as a host, it's instead something that was created ahead of time, assumedly specifically for them? Meaning there's probably someone else out here. I mean, obviously there's a mastermind behind this, right? But I wonder if said mastermind is also the one who summoned Van Gogh. Like, obviously, like, she was a rogue when we found her, because we were able to make our own contract with her, but maybe she wasn't always a rogue. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just theorizing. But yeah, but yeah, that's gonna do it for now. Yeah, off screen I'll do these battles, and then yeah, tomorrow we'll move on to section. Or yes, we're not. It's not in sections. It's acts. Act 2, the Thunder Shooters Fishing Ground. Billy the Kid? That's the first person I think of when I see Thunder Shooter. Cause Billy the Kid's Noble Phantasm is something like that, isn't it? Maybe I'm crazy. Hang on. 3-star archer. Yeah, Thunderer. So is Billy the Kid down here for some reason? I think that makes sense. Thunderer, Thunder Shooter. But why would Billy the Kid be down here? Is the real question. Or maybe it's someone completely separate, but again, he's what comes to mind when I read that. But I guess we'll see, but you know, as I was saying though, that's gonna do it. Thank you for watching. And yeah, I'm excited to see what the deal, like what the deal is with who or what. Maybe not necessarily it's probably a person. There's no way it wasn't like some sort of like mage, like caster servant who, like, yes, no, someone has to be behind why the Void Sea is all of a sudden observable. So I'm actually quite curious, so we shall see. And yeah, this will be what we do for the next probably week, at least until the Dancing Dragon Castle event starts. But yeah, anyway, I'll catch you later. Peace.